going to find out that jumping on is a lot easier than jumping off.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know. The air is unfit to breathe. Our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad.
No, well, here we go. No, yeah, we're already started, so it's too late. All right, that's how this rolls. Hey, what's happening, guys? We're doing it again. Welcome to episode 22 of the ThinkStopper, where we've been making it happen slowly but surely over here. I just want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in and subscribing, liking and subscribing and all that stuff. Share, spread the word, put it out there. You know, again, this podcast, as you guys know, it's the conversation that you just can't have with anybody. So that's how we like to do it. Conspiracies, whatever, what have you. If we want to fucking do a hot shoot on somebody, you're more than welcome. That's how this rolls. But yeah, you know, Mikey, he's not here right now. He might poke in a little bit later. He's got family stuff going on. Kid's got another event happening, so that's cool. Family over everything. And then, yeah, he'll be popping in. But we got some good shows coming up here in the near future. We have some really fun shows coming up. I have started back with doing shows with Jack Slammy. We have a show at a place called Chancala's Cantina every Wednesday, and we have headliners from all over the world. We got people booked that world traveled. We have amazing local talent, and we have national touring acts too. So that's cool. Anybody that's here in Las Vegas, you know, you're on a Wednesday, come on down Chancala's. I think it's 3246 East Desert Inn. I don't know. I'm just going by memory. Don't fucking quote me on that shit. But anyways, and then we got another show that's coming up with one of our guests here today, and I'm gonna get into the official particulars. But Tom Baum's got a show going on.
Yes. Hello.
Which kind of goes along with the theme of today too, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good times.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that here coming up. That's gonna be on the 11th, and at some point in time in this podcast, we'll definitely point you where to find that if you are in town and want to make it to that show. It should be one for the books.
Yeah.
One.
Are we gonna talk about it now?
Yeah. No. Well, we'll get into it here to say yeah,
right.
but it is gonna have a psychedelic theme, and that's what today's show has going on. As we always talk about psychedelics. We're all about being on psychedelics. So that's how that's going to work, and that's how this is going to work, too.
All right, time out. I thought this was about ghosts.
That's going
I
to
thought you said psychics.
Here we come. Here we come in with the voice of Space Ghost, everybody. That's John Gilligan. Yeah. No, but before we get started, like I said, we got some great shows and stuff like that coming up. So, by all means. And then also, one of the things we were talking about before this podcast got started, I'm just going to let everybody know that's out there. You want to get rid of your cable bill, hit me up. I just had my whole world blown wide open again. I have a Netmaster I bought from a friend and who sells them. And you stream anything online, and it's one of the best things ever. You get movies that come out, you have brand new shows, everything when it hits, TV from all over the world, UK, India, whatever the fuck you want that's going on, Olympics, sports, all your sports packages, everything, one-time purchase, the Netmaster. I was afraid to kind of pimp this thing out and say anything about it because I had a problem, which I didn't know. I thought it was the box. I had a problem with my internet, and I thought because I moved into a new house and they just hooked it up that I was all good. Nope, my internet connection was weak from the street, and let me tell you what, fucking now that I have that fucking thing fixed, this thing works like a rocket, and it doesn't drop anything. It is amazing. I would say it drops maybe 0.5% of the time when it gets the internet just itself gets a little hiccup. But other than that, the Netmaster, dude, if you want to fucking get rid of your bills and shit, I haven't paid for a pay-per-view and I'll never pay for one ever again in about 3 years. I'm on my second generation of Netmaster, but that's my plug. So if you want to hit me up, you can find my email, hit me up on Instant Messenger, all that shit. I'll get you pointed out with the guys. And dude, I'm just hooking you up. You know, that's the thing. That's for everybody. It works all over the world. There's actually guys that are overseas.
Listen, I can't believe you would pimp yourself out like this in the beginning of your own radio show.
Yeah, dude. No, this is fucking great.
My hands, my work roughened hands, which have now been softened by O'Keefe's Working Hands lotion. I want to wrap them around your throat for selling out, bro. And
Hell
it'll
no,
be a
dude.
soft grip with O'Keefe's Working Hands hand cream.
This is something that I fucking use though, man. And I wanted to fucking really back it, but it was my fucking internet connection, and dude, I'm telling you, it's a completely different world. Never fucking paying for cable TV ever again or satellite TV.
What about it?
And then there's another thing too. They have they have an app that they have. It's called The App, but that's a monthly service you can get on your cell phone. Goes over cell phone data. Our good friend Salerno, he actually got it because he was hitting me up about the Netmaster. I told him about that, and he's like, "I fucking love it, dude." You can get everything. Like they have like these channels on there. You can find like just Jackie Chan movies. It'll just play back to back to back to Jackie Chan movies, just 24/7, dude, or like whatever, Bruce Lee, whatever the fuck you want to watch. You know, you put up like the fucking Jeff Bridges, and I'll do like all his movies. Like, it's crazy.
Well, that's funny because I use one of the larger services that we subscribe to, and then I'll see a movie like Snatch, and I'm like, now I want to watch Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
It probably comes up in the suggestion. No.
No. There's titles related to that. Fuck, I don't know if I really want to watch Winston Churchill's First World War. You know, like.
Winston
Nothing
Churchill.
ever closer to Snatches, though.
Snatch, that's a great movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No, yeah, I have.
You'll probably get into like pikey fucking boxing fucking documentaries.
There was one of them
dude.
that popped up.
The Irishman. There's like one called The Irishman. He actually
Fucking just shit on Conor McGregor comes up.
Yeah. No, that'll be the strange kid and rape allegations on that. The coke-filled fucking party.
Yeah, the phone smashing sexual assaultist.
Yeah, dude. This is gonna start getting into it. So, guys, let me just bring our guests on officially, and I'm just gonna go around the horn. He's been with us a couple times, and the very first time we were supposed to do some acid, and I couldn't. Oops, did I say that? Yeah, we were supposed to party and do the podcast, and that never materialized. And then here we are today, pulling that off. But very funny man, Tom Baum.
Hello, folks.
What's going on? And then
thank you for having me back on ThinkStopper.
Oh yeah, and then our other guest, this gentleman, answered the call. This gentleman. I put up on Facebook about anybody want to talk about anything. I gave a list of topics, and he said, I'd like to talk about psychedelics. And I see this gentleman. I actually saw this gentleman long before I even saw him on stage because he was doing films with these guys I work with, the Bayer film guys.
Great stuff.
Yeah, no, it's really, really funny. I try to turn people on to that stuff. But Gus Langley, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Sweet. And Gus wanted to talk about psychedelics experiences. We're going to get into that. And then I have a good friend here, a guy that I have many psychedelic experiences with as well. Funny man. I think he's fucking running from the law. Always has been. But John Gilligan.
Call me Gilly. Then
Gilligan.
nobody, Alexa
Gilly.
will trigger and locate me.
Yeah, there was actually a gangster named John Gilligan, right?
Over in
That was-
Ireland, yeah. They don't know where he is. They might have got him by now. Jeez, that guy was a mess. He brought heroin in and then strong-armed Ireland into doing heroin like he was the boss.
Damn.
I've
the whole
asked a
country?
couple.
And
I've
a
asked a
small,
couple.
small island like that, they fucking hunted him down.
I've asked a couple of guests because I get people on my tours from Ireland, and I'll be like, "Hey, you ever heard of this guy, John Gilligan?" And like a couple of them haven't. Like, "Oh, he's a bad man.
Yeah.
He's a bad man." Yeah.
So you're going by
Yarman.
Gilly now.
But
So you're going by Gilly now.
yeah. Yep,
Smart.
when you Google me, it's John Gilligan, Irish criminal, Wikipedia, 9 pages.
Yeah, no need for government names today. That's fine.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny that he would actually, go over there to Europe, get your room turned.
Yeah.
He'd come back. You're like, yo, dude, someone's been through. But that's his housekeeping, looking for whatever's not fucking
Nailed down.
really noticeable if they stole. I had, dude. Speaking of that shit, one time when I went on my first cruise, fucking. I just got done rolling a whole bunch of shit so you can smell the weed, and then when my wife, she went back to go get some shit in the fucking room, and room service was walking down, and she's like, man, that just seemed weird. And room service was like right there. It was like this dude walking, he's like, hey, what's up? Dude went in there and fucking snatched our weed, dude. They only left us only left us like a nug in the fucking jar, dude. And I was like, there ain't shit I could say, dude. This dude just straight robbed us in this mother. Because this was before there was like legal like that, Like, yeah, dude. I'm like, that's fucked.
Yeah, you don't take the weed, man.
No, you don't, dude. And that happened to me. That happened to me one time in Denver. I was smoking a blunt, and then I put it out, and I put it in my little Swisher thing, but
Foil bag.
the little thing, and it stunk so bad. They're like, come up, and they're like, dude, I could smell that shit on you. They're like, yo, you need to come out of here. And I was like, what? And this is like right at the medicinal, and they weren't fully legal yet.
They weren't cool.
No, and the dude shook me down, and he was like, he took that one, and then he wanted my other blunt. And he's like, let me get that. I was like, fuck you ain't getting this. I'm like, I got another 12-hour ride fucking drive home. Like, you ain't taking my fucking weed, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
It is
Like,
a long drive home.
Yeah, dude. I'm about ready to give that dude a chop in the throat and fucking run.
And then the last thing you hear is that fucking elk screaming his way through your windshield.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
Jesus Christ. You see a lot of stains on the highway between here and Denver.
Oh, yeah, dude. I actually, one time when I drove out to Grand Junction, we rented a car, and I was driving my sister out there because she was moving from California on out to Grand Junction to go live with my other sister. And we were coming up, and I'm going about 70 miles an hour, and we're coming up kind of like a hill, and it levels off. So you can't see it. You can't really see ahead of you. There's like a little bit of a blind spot on that deal. And right when we level out, dude, there's a fucking dead deer laying right there, and I just fucking bam, I hit it, and my wife was like, you could have swerved, and I was like, what? And then hit it with two wheels and then fucking flip over, like, we're going 70 miles an hour and shit, dude. I'm glad you think this is fucking Hollywood where I could just yank the wheel and, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
fucking craziness, dude. But yeah, there's a lot of fucking deer out there, but I'm glad I didn't, you see those videos all the time. Fuck, dude. That's why I'm like,
Yeah, deer really do shitty on asphalt.
I was gonna say, yeah. Well, dude, they just leap right across the road and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's that classic one where it goes through the bus window, and then it fucking goes out the door and shit,
Yeah.
dude.
But
they're
there's
dead
other
devils.
ones.
There's a one where it's wiped a biker right out, biker was
yeah.
riding thing, just,
Yeah, he was like, fuck this biker, took him out.
I've seen it.
yeah, dude. It was like, there was one where it was like,
Guy's been shaking the stick at him for 2 years.
there was a dolphin.
Get away. No stick today.
There was a surfer riding, and he was all stoked that he was like with the dolphins, like, and one just jumped up and fucking bam, knocked
Took
him off
him
the
out.
surfboard, dude. The dolphins were like, yeah,
Yeah, they're
fucking fucker snaked your wave, bro.
locals only.
Yeah, bro.
That's fun.
Ride that tube steak.
I love that that's still a mentality in the United States. Come to our beach, but you're not welcome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Locals only. You're not from here? Beat it, you pasty.
Yeah, I've never been to Hawaii, dude. I've only been to the airport twice. Never stepped out.
It's the
outside
best
the airport.
Representation of the islands that you'll find. That and some kind of Sheraton resort. Otherwise, you're fucked. A lot of ghettos in Hawaii.
Well, dude,
ghettos and mansions on the road to the ghettos.
Dude, some of the world's toughest fighters come from fucking Hawaii or Samoa
Now
and
you
Tonga.
know why.
Dude, all they do is fucking fight, man.
Yeah, it's
like,
hot. It's humid.
Yeah, man.
Days are 20 hours long.
There's no shyness of testosterone in that fucking culture.
Shout out to BJ Penn and Mark Hunt.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, dude. Speaking of which, Max Holloway last night. Yeah, Max Holloway, holy shit! UFC. What was it? That was a bantamweight. I don't know. Lightweight.
It was a lightweight interim title. I was sleeping.
Oh, dude. These guys, him and Dustin Poirier were just landing, but Dustin Poirier was like landing at will and busting him up. And this is the thing. It had to be like that dream where you're in a fight and you keep punching and like fucking it's not hurting. They're just getting. It's like, yeah, no, I'm good. It's like you get that adrenaline dump, you know, and you're just like, pushing your shots, like. But he just kept composure and just kept drilling him. You know what I mean? It was like,
it was a decision, correct?
I would have. Yeah, I did go decision. I would have fucking. I would have maybe looked at calling that ref in. Look, because the damage, dude. I mean, his nose smeared across his face, which is already a flat nose, but you know. But dude, he was.
Yeah,
that was like a part.
They're easy to smear again.
That was a part of his defense, dude. Was this? You know what I mean? It was like like just eating the shots. Holloway, yeah, bro. It was unbelievable. Anybody see that? No one saw that, huh?
No.
Oh, dude. It fucking bloodbath. And then the fight before that was another fucking bloodbath. Dudes were staggering each other, hurting each other from...
It was Isandea, Israel?
Yeah.
Versus Gastelum?
Yeah, versus Gastelum. Yeah.
Who won that fight?
I was supporting the
Adesanya.
Yeah, Adesanya, yeah, something like that. Yeah, he finished stronger. I didn't hear you. Sorry, what'd you say?
I was just saying I didn't watch that because I was watching the Valley's one true sport, Major League Soccer.
Oh yeah, MLS.
He couldn't even keep his hit of blunt in there. That's hysterical.
It was
like nobody gives a shit yet. We gave them the baseball stadium on North Las Vegas Boulevard.
It's the I was gonna say, okay, that's the Cashman.
Yep.
That's okay. I'm glad they're not just abandoning Cashman.
Meanwhile,
Cashman's
we got the
fucking...
Oakland A's out in Summerlin. Their farm team has gone 9-1 or 9-0, some like incredible record.
Dude, the Aviators they're fucking awesome.
Dominating, yeah. You went. I saw the pictures.
Yeah, the field is amazing. The field is amazing. The Howard Hughes, whatever deal, or Las Vegas baseball field, whatever they call it. That place is amazing. And then the uniforms, the hats, everything is really good. It's a color scheme that
one of the four biggest screens in the league.
Oh, it's like a big league. It's fucking great. Like a lot of the fence is chain link, you know, so you can see through when you're walking on in and where they have the bar and all that stuff. Fucking great, dude. It's a cool little deal, dude. Not a bad seat in the house either. You know what I mean? And you can walk all the way around it. So, you know, someone cranks a home run way over there, man, you might be in position. Bam, son. But so let's get into the fucking deal at hand, man. We were talking about psychedelics. No, I didn't. Yeah,
it's a ghost.
We're gonna blame.
Just farted in my mouth.
The smell of sulfur's in the air. Right.
That's why we have that salt lamp burning. Ward off evil crystals. Yeah, they're supposed to use that baseball field for women's soccer, which I'm going to become very interested in.
Well, they got the Aces over here too. That's the other thing.
Basketball.
Vegas. Yeah, a lot of shit going on in Vegas, man. There's a lot of stuff happening. It's gonna be an interesting place for people to come back and check out. If you come out here before, definitely want to make your way out. And if you haven't been, what it used to be versus what it is today, worlds apart. You know what I mean? Just a couple of years ago.
I was just thinking, even when I moved here, which is less than 20 years, there's a huge difference in how people perceive every part of this valley.
No, totally.
Oh, yeah. I've only been here since 2010, and I'd agree.
Yeah.
So where are you originally from there, Gus?
Atlanta, yeah.
Atlanta.
Hot.
Atlanta, or suburbs, or
Yeah,
surrounding
my
parts?
family lives in the suburbs now, but I grew up in and out of the city.
Okay. And what brought you out to Vegas?
Man, I was kind of burnt out on acting, and I took a job working at a dispensary.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
But you come out here and you do acting.
Yeah.
Just a better scene, better vibe, different deal for you, different
The
terms.
tradesman always goes back to the trade.
Yeah. Well,
It's true.
all the
the
dispensaries
lifestyle.
opened up, and then all of a sudden they cracked down on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So the jobs kind of dried up. And, it was like really the only thing I had any experience doing, so I jumped back into it.
Yeah.
You got to make a living somehow.
Well, hey, I mean, you do enjoy it, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You're good at it.
thanks, man.
You're very good.
It is great.
Yeah. You're not too shabby on the mic there either, there, guy.
Well, you guys are sweet. Thank you.
You do the co-hosting. How do you like doing that over there at Rebar?
It's a good time. I appreciate them having me down there, It's been really cool to watch a lot of people work stuff out, get better, watch a lot of people get up for the first time, watch people who I've seen perform other places, try new stuff. It's like a cool mix,
What do you get from hosting though? Like what do you take from it? Like
a small bar tab, which is nice.
And a mediocre paycheck.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
They're very good to us.
Yeah, it's always good to try to flex yourself in a different direction, Getting up and working on the show is...
Gus was an awkward host the first time.
Yeah, totally.
Because he thought, I'll just go up and act like a stand-up comedian. He's like, hey, what's the deal with not being funny? Fuck.
Hey, I thought our mutual friend Nick was pretty good on
Hysterically
stage.
funny.
Yeah, I thought he was really funny.
Great timing.
Dude, yeah, he
Great
kills me.
characters.
Yeah, he's a goofball. Actually,
Unfortunately, somebody picked a fight with him one night, and they all got in trouble. They're not allowed back in there.
yeah, I was there. That was hilarious at the same time. It's unfortunate, but that's one thing about that individual. He is not afraid to
Stand up for people's
Yeah,
rights.
he's not afraid to let them hands go at all.
Yeah.
At all. And that's the thing is he's the nicest, most awkward dude, and then all of a sudden, wham! Here comes fucking Mr. Hyde, dude. Fucking eyes rolled back like a shark. Fucking meow.
Didn't see when we fight, we do it on camera. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No. He. I've seen him. I've seen him get physical with removing people before at the bar. But I've also heard stories of him fucking lighting people up, like, So I know, like, he's got a switch.
Man, he's thick. Yeah.
Yeah. But
He's a comedian?
well, he's
Filmmaker.
Yeah, he's a filmmaker and he's an actor. But he was doing stand up, and he would do jokes, but he would write it out. But like his engagement with the crowd and the way that he would, yeah.
These wild characters, too. Like, people would be like, is this guy really like this?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was like, dude, you keep working to where you got some time.
But unfortunately, they were supposed to be there filming a commercial and got in a fist fight with somebody who was paying customer. So things got ugly.
But I told him, I was like, dude, if you work on getting you some time and shit, I was like, I could point you out to tons of people to where you would fucking crush on their stage. You would crush. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
because like he could do what he was doing. He could do that clean on any stage and still fucking deliver in those jokes. Mm-hmm. But let me tell you what, it was short-lived, dude. Because I actually had him on. To do the podcast, dude, and it was so awkward and it was so weird. I was just like, I'm not gonna put it up because I was
hilarious.
I was like, bro, and he's like, sorry if I ruined your podcast. I was like, no, man. I go, this sucks that like I couldn't just get like you to just talk with me. You know what I mean? But that's not how he is. That's just not how he is, dude. Like I've seen him in a lot of situations.
He's thinking.
Hey, dude, I don't know how. I don't know how
And
he.
yeah, I just think he's an artist, and artists are weird people.
No,
you know?
100%, 100%. No, I don't know how he closed escrows on chicks, dude. To be, I don't know how he. I don't know how he seals the deal.
Like you said, it's a wild character. He just jumps into it. How you doing?
Fuck yeah, no, he's a talented bro. He's a talented guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good guy. But so
So this has
anyways,
nothing to
yeah.
do with
watch out.
psychedelics.
Yeah. Look at hiya.
And that's hockey in Las Vegas.
Yeah, there you go. But
Big game tonight.
yeah, so you enjoy doing the old jam down there, huh?
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.
Are you taking on any more comedy gigs?
We just did the roast of Jon Snow down at Millennium Fandom. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Good little turnout.
Yeah, it was actually pretty packed for the room.
Sweet.
I had never even been to the bar before.
It was right by Goodwich, right? Just down the street.
Yeah.
But kind of by like on
Yeah,
the way to
I
like
think
the
so.
Eclipse Theater or somewhere.
Yeah,
like
over by that. Yeah,
in that vicinity.
where the Eclipse fixing to used to be.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's crazy. What's gonna happen at the comedy club?
Oh, I don't know. The other thing is they were. How I found out was the guy, Mikey Slime and his good buddy Ram. They were gonna debut their film there, and Metropolitan Police Department fucking sweated them to not because it fucking exposed them in many different lights, and so they pulled the plug on them. So when they fucking went out, they were the first ones putting out. They're like, "Yep, probably should have stuck by. Other people would stick by you. Fuck you, buddy." Like.
Man, it ended up being a bigger story because they didn't want them to play it than if they had just let them play it.
Yep, 100%. But
It's still a constabulary state of mind. And here's something I said. If the police were here to truly protect and serve us, we would adore them the way we do firemen.
Right.
Nobody's
yeah.
like fucking firemen shopping again. This bullshit.
yeah.
You gonna stay here away from your family?
Yeah.
And
I
you're gonna
actually-
eat steak and show off that you don't have to go home?
I actually did see a video where somebody was piling on a fucking in their because they were shopping out of their county or whatever, and
Yeah.
I forgot whatever like the deal was, and these people were yelling at them, and like probably like 5-6 people come around to start barking at, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, fucking. You don't be fucking with them, dude. You know what I mean?
Making
Don't, dude,
them
I don't.
eat.
As much as I am, I don't want to say I'm anti-cop because that's strong, but I'm like very pro responsibility.
Is that strong?
I'm pro first responder and I'm anti dickbag.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I mean. Like there's, dude, and there's a lot going
Ambulance
on.
drivers can be dickbags. Like it's just this
100%.
universal thing.
No, totally. No,
And I don't get it where ambulance drivers don't hop out and start screaming at you. Get on the floor, show me your hands. Like there's somebody in charge and there's a chain of command and there's a series of things designed to calm you down.
There's more of a problem solving than there is
Right,
a
and then
fucking.
the cops, I think it should be a United States Police Department like Europe has. Germany's got their 7-district police department or whatever. Everybody comes out of the thing trained. Nobody's prejudiced because they come from different places.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough to comment and to say if that.
You'd
is a
rather
good
have
or bad
small
thing.
town sheriffs making people disappear
Yeah.
than have a United States Police
I
Department.
kind of feel a little bit more safer that way. I know, you know what I mean. I know it's not like it's still exposable. I guess I don't know. There's a lot of crazy shit going on in this town, dude. Like
Yeah.
going on live right now. You know what I mean? Like, and it's all there in the news and stuff like that. And we've been told. Mikey said, don't. But you can just say, hey, if you look at it, or you want to hit us up, might let you know that way, but it's all out there. It's all public knowledge, and it is crazy. It is crazy here in Vegas.
I grew up
Talk about Game of Thrones, dude. There's there's wars going on here in town.
My
dude.
parents were retired cops. When I got out of the Navy, all their friends who were still working at the time would come by and get drunk. Police cars in front of my house. Radios on the table. Unfounded Central. I'll take another beer.
Yeah, totally.
Just
dude.
hang out for 4.5 fucking hours and go back and clock out. Like you just got paid to get drunk at someone's dining room table.
Totally,
what a
dude.
Great fucking job.
Totally. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not take the fucking?
You think that's still what it's like, though?
No, it got to the point where the people who were bringing the captains and the sergeants over to do the drinking were getting nervous. Like, I don't want to come in and have a beer. And they're like, just come in and have a beer. Oh, no, I can't go in and have a beer. Like, it's a setup, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's how things get done, son.
Yeah, but it got
Yeah.
to the point where one of the sergeants brought a lieutenant. The lieutenant used to come. The sergeant would come. A couple of patrolmen who drove them would come. There'd just be a house full of fucking cops. 1/3 of the precinct on duty was parked in front of my house. You can't have a party at your house. Tell your friends, meet me there. People come around the corner and they're like, I'm
Man.
absolutely not walking to his house. There's 3 cop cars parked out front.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Everybody's like, I've seen like 3 seasons of The Wire. No, thank you.
Yeah, right? They're in the wide open like that.
Totally, dude. Yeah, it makes me nervous. I'm glad the only thing that I'm into is smoking weed, so I don't really have to fucking. Well, I'm in psychedelics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
they
talk
bring it
about
back.
them.
Yeah, so that's why we bring everybody in. We're half hour into it, you know. Yeah, you just got to get the jaw a little limber and stuff, but
Got to get in the groove.
totally, yeah. But psychedelics, you know, I definitely am pro, choice on those. Yeah, I do think actually it should be woven into our culture as like something that you accepted
Wasn't
to
that
do.
what Gus said? Teach a class on getting high on acid.
Yeah, I think it would be much more culturally acceptable, and a lot safer for everybody involved if they would just enlighten people a little bit.
I mean, well, they were doing that back in the late 60s and 70s when they saying
Communes in Northern
if
California.
you take LSD, you start peeling your skin because you think you're an orange and you jump out of a window and
Sure, so
you
like a
think you
lot
can
of
fly, you know?
we'll say like negative propaganda, I guess.
Yeah, there was the
But it's like brought in, like LSD was like brought in to help with depression or different things, or
Yeah,
was
alcoholism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, the founders of AA. They used LSD to.
and doctors said, no, this is not useful like some kind of methamphetamine stimulant.
Yeah.
Let's shelf this creatine
Or
juice.
fentanyl. Let's get fentanyl out there. You know.
Your kids like Vicodin. We're going to introduce something stronger in 2 years. Just try the Vicodin.
I mean, it stands to reason though. Like we've elevated drugs to a point where we're just like, yeah, dude, if you take that shit, you die. And they're like, give me yeah. You know what I mean? Like people are making
Those
rap
are always
songs.
my cutoffs.
Everybody's like singing songs about fentanyl, and they're like wearing fentanyl gear and shit, dude.
Yeah, and then 6 months later, it's like blah 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 has died, and and you're like, oh no
What?
shit.
Little Finny died?
Yeah.
Little Finny? No,
Little
not
Fin
little,
Fin.
not little Fin, not little Fin
At
Fin.
his own birthday party?
Oh man,
Damn.
Too much scissor and
oh
fell
man,
asleep on the
Yeah,
couch.
damn that.
Xan bars.
Allegedly.
Baby Nell died. Oh man, yeah, no, it's terrible. It's terrible what we everything. You know, I think why a lot of it gets made illegal is because it actually is the answer. It is the way. I think, it does help out with a lot of things. They're trying to bring in legalization of mushrooms right now. They want to do that. When I was in
What a great way to help people step across the divide and get their minds put at ease.
Yeah, nobody's friendlier than like a day or two after a mushroom trip.
Yeah.
yeah.
Even
It-
in
it's a
general,
great
you
re-
come out a little straightened out of a mushroom trip. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I know it's going to take 13 more minutes to get through traffic today, but I got 13 minutes.
It's a good. It's a good.
nice.
Come on, get in there in front of me.
It's a good reset button.
Yeah.
I think any kind of hallucinogenic is, like I always grew up.
Something so pure and simple.
I always grew up doing acid, and then we did a lot of mushrooms, but I did a lot of acid.
Gus's favorite, he said. If he had his choice, he'd do acid.
Yeah, I'm definitely more of an acid guy than a mushroom guy.
Mushrooms hurt my
No,
stomach
totally.
in comparison, so I was going to make tea if that was a story we were going to tell.
I've always I've had like some of the more grand experiences. That usually it's the physicality of mushrooms, but I make a tea or I blend it up really fine. But eating just mushrooms makes me just like
I
it
used
really
to
get.
love them when I knew they came from under cow shit for some reason.
Oh,
I was
man,
like,
it just
yeah,
really-
real farm fresh mushrooms.
Farm
really works.
fresh
Now they're
shit.
coming from caves and people are spraying ayahuasca on them, so the trips are incredible.
Oh wow.
But still, you're like, "Oh,
Man, they can be fun, but I just remember, like, on a base level that it's kind of like a poison, and that's why you're fucked up, you know?
What's that?
With mushrooms, you know?
Right.
Well, it does. What it does is in one of many things it does, but there's a part in your brain where it actually slows down and completely, like, it stops almost all the firing of, like, the synapses in that area, and it lets, like, other things work that it shuts down. It's kind of like it almost like it. I know it's not, but it's almost like your reptilian brain, the thing that kind of like just hardwired in, like when your fight or flight moment. You know,
There's nothing like being on mushrooms and discovering fractals when you walk out into nature for the first time.
But
It's kind of like it mixes up your switchboard.
yeah, it does. It connects different
everywhere.
wires. It connects different wires, different parts of the brain. Some stuff works better, and some stuff actually slows down. And that's the thing, is like a lot of anxiety and stuff, it gets broken through because it gets pushed to the point where people you just realize you just have to let it go. You're living in the past, you're holding on, or you know, like you have these breakthroughs, and whatever it is individually, you know, that's what you find out. You know, that's what you know. Same like if you take edibles. You take edibles and you fucking have that Jesus moment on
It's
edibles.
the highest I've ever been in my life is on edibles, man.
Yeah.
I've seen people get taken out of the cannabis cup on a stretcher because they ate too many cookies.
No, dude.
That's crazy.
I used to
Right?
make.
You're thinking that could never happen to you.
I don't really fuck with edibles because I know that can happen to me.
Yeah, man.
I wake up, memory erased.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Reset
fucking
button.
Valium for me.
Yeah.
I used to.
Sleep like you're supposed to, though. 6
Yeah.
solid hours, wake up with a full bladder instead of every 2 hours with a mildly full bladder. Like
Yeah.
I used to.
$4,000 mattress.
I used to make cookies and stuff like that. You don't need to. I used to make cookies and stuff like that from when I used to grow, and I used to make my own hash and shit. I would take like the lower, not the duff obviously, but like the first run kind of stuff that had a little bit more green into it, and make butter and shit out of that.
Yeah.
And I would make brownies, I'd make cookies, and I'd make all that stuff, and I'd decarb it and everything. You know, I made bubble hash. That's how I collected it. So, and then you know, after you decarb, it's kind of ready to go. You know, I'm a batter licker. You know, I'm testing the spoon, and I'm eating the edge when it comes out. You know what I mean? And one time I was just dabbling. Next thing you know, I'm like, fucking having a Jesus moment. Like I'm in my grow room. I'm all talking to my plants and shit, dude. Fucking like,
Yeah,
If I stop pulling my trigger finger, I'm gonna die. I know it. I know it's gonna
dude.
happen.
Yeah,
I gotta
man.
pull
Like
my
I was
trigger finger.
tweaking.
I was like, damn, I am to the moon, baby.
I try and explain this to people. I didn't know about this. I ate 400 milligrams and went out to lunch with my wife. It was a fucking taffies, and they were delicious taffies. They tasted like weed, but they were potent, 100 milligrams each.
Man, when I moved out here, I was making some honey for this dispensary that I was working for, and it was like 5 times strength honey or whatever. And you said you're like a batter licker, right? So you'll be into this. I finished making it. Nobody's looking, so I'm just like, all right. I clean the shit out of this pot like it's pudding, you know?
Yeah, dude.
And then the next thing I know, I'm laying on the floor in the kitchen. And I mean, I've got the spins like I'm on heroin or something. Like, just fucking, just like, woo. Like, highest I've ever been in my life, man.
Were you like, did you see yourself? You're like pale and
Yeah,
green.
man, and
I turned green, dude.
I've been smoking for a couple of decades, and this was just like, it was a completely different thing.
Well,
Yeah,
it
I
is.
smoked for years before I tried real edibles.
It is. People don't realize actually marijuana. I hate the term, but cannabis, when you ingest it and you take it, when it gets processed in your liver, it actually becomes a completely different drug when it's then released into your bloodstream, and it makes its way to your brain. It's a
Right? To sleep with me. It's
No,
fucking
but it's a-
awesome. Just
it-
like Gus said.
It's a complete. It's a.
kitchen
Well, I was
floor
gonna say
looks
it's a hallucinogenic, but it's a completely different drug at this point.
And there isn't a ceiling with edibles like there is for a lot of people with smoking.
I cough
You know,
when
like
I
some
tap
people can
out.
only get so high through smoking. But if they continue to eat edibles, they're going to continue to get more high.
See, and that's the fallacy when you always meet like somebody who doesn't want to smoke because you get immediately high from smoking. You know, you get that punch because you know usually you cough. But when you get got on edibles, it could be fucking life changing in a good or a bad way.
Couch lock for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Like you see your birthday party happening around you, and you're just kind of like stuck in the zone.
Yeah,
You know?
my 400 milligram dose lunch wasn't fucking right, man.
There's the funny YouTube where the cop calls 911.
Oh yeah.
Right, because he
ate the brownies.
Time
confiscated
is
weed.
going by so slow.
Yeah, dude. He's like, I think we're dead.
They laugh, don't they? Doesn't the woman on the
Yeah.
line laugh at
Yeah.
him?
Yeah, dude. Like they're fucking out of it. And I was just like, yeah, you're fucking toast. You know, you're supposed to ride that out. You know.
Yeah.
One of my good friends that passed away. His name is Steve Graham. When we used to take acid, he'd be like, hey, dude, you know, or take anything. He'd be like, you know the deal, dude. Something goes hairy, just fucking laugh and smile. You know, just enjoy the ride, dude. You know what you did.
Yeah.
Anything that comes out of you is the path you gotta go. You just gotta come back and be normal after all that. That's it. You know? And that's always stuck with me when I'm fucking taking hallucinogenics, because I used to do that shit
We
where
had
you
a-
go on the edge of the fucking galaxy. You know what I mean?
We had a
So-
local kid, Mikey Quinlan. He was a genius. He went to West Point, whatever. Like they made this guy an officer in Vietnam, but they fed him LSD and it fucked him up. And the first thaw of the year, like March or April, when it was kind of nice enough, he was outside with a guitar and he would do water paintings for people. And he was good until the first freeze, so he'd be there all summer turning brown, making paintings for people, just drunk as shit all day long. Mikey, he's like, the Army fucked me up, bro. The Army fucked me up. I can see that.
Oh, dude.
I don't know if that's because you were a genius and your mind collapsed on itself,
I think it just has that reputation in general.
or if you were one of those poor people that they gave 75 hits of LSD to, like, try this on him.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Too
yeah.
much,
dude.
man.
Let's
Yeah,
fucking
it's too much. Let's just send him out to the jungle,
let's fucking experiment on his behavior.
right? That's fucking
Well, there's
conspiracy
tons-
theory right there.
There's tons of people, you know, like whether they did or they didn't land on the moon. One of the things is they did send a lot of people up there that died trying. You know, a lot of people that like in kind of like black ops missions type deal to see if they could actually be done. People who actually volunteered and did it. But there's people who, you know, went up, they don't get the name, and they supposedly signed off on this. It was a death mission, but they went up there to see if they could actually fucking go to the moon. Fucking died in the Van Allen belt or before. You know, they will fucking try. They will do, you know what I mean? Like
The only
they will-
person I'm going to trust on this is David Copperfield. If him or the guy from Virgin Airlines can get to the moon, it's a thing.
Well, but like the government, they will do what they can. They will definitely try. They will use people. You know, the experiments that go on. Like we really don't even know how heinous it is. You know what I mean?
Are you a believer in the Kubrick theory that he was involved in the faking?
Yeah, I do. There's a lot of signs. There's a lot of people. I watch people use NASA's own stuff and destroy them with it. And so here's one of the things. There's a lot of money in it. There was a lot going on, I guess, with the whole thing with Russia and being the first ones to do, and you know what I mean, the patriotism, whatever, you know, the rocket programs. But everything that has happened since supposedly landing on the moon has been very weird and wouldn't be what I would expect or what most people expect, you know. And there's a lot to cover, but I do think to help, you know, keep that guy. Yeah, I do think Kubrick was a part of something. There was a lot of messaging going on in a lot of his movies from that.
And I would, just from a filmmaking standpoint, I would certainly say that he was capable of having done that. You know, like you can't objectively stand back and say, no, this guy couldn't have pulled that off.
Well, it's almost like the
Look
movie.
into Nelson DeMille. That dude is brilliant. He wrote The General's Daughter. John Travolta was in it, so people didn't take it very seriously. But
That
it
was
about,
a great movie.
yeah, about rape.
Yeah.
At the West Point and
Yeah.
wherever else, and like all these cover-ups, and it was the General's daughter, and he was like, "Just fucking man up. It happens." Thanks, Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the thing about like Kubrick like pulling it off and stuff like that is there's so many people that look at the photography of it, the photography aspect of it, and they're just like, look at these angles and these shadows, like really are like that's coming from a light source, that's not coming from like being lit up completely from the back, like that's those shadows, and that's more than I know, but there's a lot of people who are out there, and they've said this multiple times independently with different stuff,
It would be funny if we found out that the Earth really was some kind of flat thing in addition. Every time we got in a plane to go somewhere, they're like, right, everybody circle around until we can change all the signs.
Yeah, dude, it wouldn't surprise me if we were living in a fucking in kind of like a spherical dish, with the whole thing like a dome thing. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I don't
dude.
know what
Why
to
not?
expect. I grew up expecting one thing. I was raised Catholic. And then you get to this point where you're like, let me just rein things in a minute here.
I gotta be honest.
15% of my shit.
I gotta be honest. The argument. I just watched this guy called Allegedly Dave, and I was gonna post it the other day, and I'm like, I just can't. It's like it's still too much for me to fucking wrap my head around. But dude, this guy was fucking shattering like a particle physicist, and he had some other doctorate about flat Earth and stuff like that. And he made these points about the whole curvature, and if planes were following that, then they would have to dip down like 3,000 feet every so. Like the way he broke it down was so eloquent. I was like, holy shit! And you know what the dude, the particle, he's just like, that's what China and that's what Japan and NASA and they all said the same thing. And that was it. That was his argument.
That's your Irish accent?
No, he was like, he was like some Danish or Swedish fucking thing, and like, I'm over here and I'm like, okay,
Sorry,
this guy
Gus is
needs to debate. This guy needs to debate other people. You know what I mean? And then I went and looked him up, and he's debating everybody, and he's posting it. So it looks like he's winning. I don't think he'd be posting the one he's losing, and I don't see it. But the guy made these arguments, man. If you want to let it up. But he was making these arguments. I was like, I would love to hear what the scientific mind has to say about that. And the guy just stammered and stymied through the whole thing.
Man, as somebody who loves
really
wild
crazy.
theories, when I hear something that's just like too crazy for me to even consider, I'm like, it must really be wild because I believe a lot of stupid stuff,
No, hey, no, I don't think anything's off the books. I don't think anything's, off the table, I should say. I don't think, that's one of the things about the podcast is like, why not, like entertain me, like educate me as to why. But I don't know how I ended up on that dude's fucking deal. Like, I don't know how that came up because I don't I don't type in flat Earth on my thing. I'm usually trying to like how to get rich quick.
Easy for you to say.
Get
an hour
rich
and a
quick
half
shit.
After we
Like,
started.
yeah, no, that's I don't like I YouTube like fucking like affirmation type shit. You know what I mean? So for like flat Earth to like come in, you know what I mean? I'm into like mantras.
Keep it positive.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's a part of all of it. Your brain fucking dictates a lot of like how you perceive the world, and I think it's your choice if you want to be happy or not.
Man, my favorite YouTube video was a 10-hour rainstorm, and they took it down, and I'm so bummed.
Oh, dude, 10-hour raids. See, one of the things, there was like one of those.
Nobody was watching the ads.
I wanted to put one of those on there because they're like, we run tones at these like megahertz, and this is supposed to really get you fucking, like relax or whatever. And I'm like, how do I know when I fucking zonk out at like fucking minute 3 for the next time I'm not getting fucking neurolinguo neuro linguistic programming or whatnot in my head. Like,
Man, I guess we don't.
you know, that's one of the things. That's one of the things that I think about. So I was like, unless I make them tunes.
Right. And just out in the rainstorm with a microphone.
Just loop it.
I had this. I went up on stage. They picked me out of the audience on a cruise ship to be part of this fucking hypnotism act. There was like 12 guys. So he's like, all right, now you're all going to sleep. Just pick your heads up. You know, do whatever. Put your head down. All right, I'm not fucking out. Now what do I do? The guy picked my head up by my hair, and I just looked at him, and he just pushed my head down and made me pretend I was asleep for the rest of the show.
Just out.
I did that.
Just
I
lay
did that in
down.
high school, and it didn't take. And
Yeah, I'm too
I just
smart,
went back to my. I
apparently.
just went back to
Or
my,
too
my
dumb.
seat. But my buddy hella got hypnotized, and then he came back to my seat, and then the dude was like, "All right, sleep," and then he fell asleep right next to me. I was like, "Motherfucker!"
Wow, yeah, dude, I've never been hypnotized, so.
There was a guy in Romania, sorry, Gus, but he was robbing banks by hypnotizing the tellers. He would go
That's
in and say
fantastic.
something like,
Well,
That's what they're supposed to be doing. Cool
right?
Stuff
What
like
the fuck?
that.
Well,
you guys are doing cruise ships when you could be robbing banks in Europe?
Seriously.
Just fucking
You
convince
enjoy
the
giving me
convince the
diamonds.
fucking the bank manager to open the vault and just fucking walk out with bags of cash to your car.
As you know, it's all my...
No, no, I've always been into that stuff, but I've never been hypnotized. I've never had anybody like do any work. I've always been into what they say is like auto-suggestion or like self-hypnosis, but you know, I think that's just kind
You
of
can 100% hypnotize yourself.
I think that's just repeating the same thing over in your head that you what you want to get done.
this ingrown toenail. I'm gonna fix this.
I'm gonna
ingrown
cut it out.
toenail.
I'm gonna cut
You know,
it
that's I
out.
was thinking about that the day before yesterday when I was fixing an ingrown toenail. I was like, the worst feeling is when you get those nippers under there and then there's not more power. You can't cut through that big old man toenail. You gotta take it out and start fresh with a bigger nipper. Like, motherfucker.
You gotta get those good snips, then you gotta get those needle nose pliers and just fucking yank it out.
Yank it out.
Yep.
You got like a guitar pick coming out. I think it's about as big as a guitar pick.
And meanwhile, I saw a tool. It's a clamp that goes on your big toe.
Yeah,
You
and-
soak it for 30 minutes, straighten it out, hit it with a hair dryer, and walk away.
No, dude, I'll cut that motherfucker out, dude. I'm
Every
old
time.
school. Fucking.
It's funny. I went for a pedicure because it's $40 for an office visit at the podiatrist.
Just get a
And
little-
25 for a pedicure plus a tip. Still didn't come out to 40.
Just get one of those. Just go to the store and get one of those dentist little metal scraper
I've got
things
a
for your
kit of
teeth.
those
Just
from-
fucking just carve out just
From
get out
Hazard-
the rest of the fucking ingrown toenail.
I go to
me
Harbor
about it.
Freight Tools.
Harbor
Freight, yeah, dude.
And all their shit breaks
Dental
on your
kit.
feet.
Hazard Front Tools.
You're like, whoa, what are you buying hydrogen peroxide for? We'll just dip that in Barbasol.
Barbasol's great shit.
So, what's the most out of everybody here? What's like the? You're saying edibles is probably the highest you've been. What's the most like? What's the most you've ever tripped though? Like, because there's a difference when you get that body, you're just overtaken, like you're just kind of squirming from your stomach when you're so fucking, you get that super high or that drunk kind of deal. Versus like
with mushrooms, I would get this fucking hills and valleys where I was just like huge yawn, and then all of a sudden, zap.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm on top of a mountain right now. I get why trees sprinkle water to the outside now.
yeah. But so
Thank you, Jesus.
what's like that? What's like the highest you've ever been? What was like the trip?
I did the Gateway show, which is a show where you do a set sober, and then you do a set after smoking weed.
I've heard of that before.
And then, but I also did acid and mushrooms, and I kind
That's a
of,
lot for a human.
I kind of timed it out, and I had a killer set. Like, it was fucking
Right on.
dope. But after the show, like being around everybody, it was like a lot, like too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't need to be
Why?
around all these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just thinking
Also, I did mushrooms and then went and saw the remake of Alice in Wonderland, that one with Johnny Depp. I think it was.
Oh wow, yeah.
The highest I've ever been on a hallucinogenic
That'd be
then
weird.
would be my first mescaline trip. I
Mescaline.
couldn't fucking remember the number that 411 was giving me, the information lady. She's like, 327. I'm like, right, 963. You remember this. What?
You're writing this down,
She's like,
right?
Sorry for popping the mic.
327. Yeah, 951. But then she would say all 7 at once and just fuck me up. 327 4000. No. How many thousands? Wait, what? Mescaline. Don't do this. I just try to get you connect me to the
Yeah,
movie
I've done
theater.
mescaline a few times too.
Hey, do you throw up, or are you supposed to, or is that like one of them things?
I
It's
haven't-
like a speed, right?
I
Like,
haven't thrown up.
Just keeps you awake for 10 hours. You
I
giggle at
did some.
everything.
I'm not really sure if it worked because I also did like Molly too with it. But I actually just went to that reggae fest in Long Beach, right? That's where you're from? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the One Love Fest. And I did I found a guy on the bus, super hippie looking, had a backpack. I was like, you have acid.
That's
He's
my
like,
guy.
I was like, I've been looking for you. I was like, they told me you'd be here. So I got 3 hits off of him, and then he also had this mescaline tea, and I took like 3 big old swigs of that. Like it was in like a 2 liter, yeah. And I was like, it
just
doesn't taste
tea,
good.
bro.
It doesn't taste great. It's like from a cactus.
Yeah.
And but I was like, no, and it kind of dries your mouth out too. And so I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then, but after I was like, let me get one more, And it's supposedly like open your heart. It opens your heart, for like whatever, love or like it just very honest drug. Mm-hmm. And I had like a breakthrough that night, and I was like, it was dope. And then I took the 3rd hit of acid that I got from that guy because I was having such a good time.
Oh wow.
After my
The
breakthrough.
smartest salesman I ever met was in Mexico. The guy goes, damn, it's good to hear somebody speak English. What? He's like, you're looking at those shot glasses. You want to try some mezcal? It's like, yeah, I'll try mezcal. It was just a shot of tequila style stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, now try the tequila. Right on. And he goes, what do you think? You like that better than mezcal? I was like, I think I like the mezcal. He's like, are you sure? And he poured me another mezcal. And I was like, and I'll take that rifle bag with the caballeros on it there, partner. Oh my God, I spent $700 in his little shop to find out he's from, like every day. A cruise ship comes in and people speak English.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't a rarity.
Oh, that's funny.
He was just a genius.
Oh man,
3
finally.
shots of shit out of an apple juice container behind the counter, and I was in the fucking pockets.
Nice, dude. Fucking rookie.
And I even have a way to do that is by only having certain number of 5s in one pocket. Like I only have 15. I don't have 27.
He's like, your socks, senor.
Your
No, that's
socks
my
in
ankle
your-
bracelet.
Eat your
Differente.
hand.
the embassy knows where I'm at all times.
That's how long it's been since I went back to Mexico. I was wearing cargo shorts last time.
That's hilarious.
But real quick, Tom,
Capris are
how
coming.
long did that
can see
trip
Tom.
last?
Which one?
That one you drank all the
Mezcal,
mescaline?
tea,
Oh,
3 hits of acid.
I mean, I was at a reggae festival, so all night, probably till like 4 in the morning or something like that, from
What was it
6
like?
p.m. Huh?
Sorry.
Like
What
going
was it
stronger
like?
until you actually passed out?
Yeah, I was going strong and then crashed pretty hard because I was going.
Are
at
you
a
able to-
festival, just-
Are you able to pass out able to fall asleep on drugs, or does it take a while?
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not cocaine, I'll be all right.
You ever do the thing where you dose and then go to sleep so that you'll wake up and be tripping?
I've done it before, forgetting I fucking
didn't mean to
dosed.
do it,
Like
but
get a
yeah.
little drunk and take one, and
That's happened before. Yeah, no, I've woken up fucking. What in the shit?
yeah.
Yeah.
That has in my fucking apartment, all fucking tucked in, fucking done for the night, and
I
like,
was
oh,
I was
fuck.
camping at the
Took some at the bar.
like the Oregon cannabis cup, their weed whatever festival, and it was like a 3-day thing, and I brought a tent, and they had hella acid up there, and
Did
I
it
tripped
rain?
one night, and then like just passed the fuck out in my car. I was like, damn it! And then I get up and like the party's over. I was like, just walk back to my tent.
Oh man, that sucks, dude. Yeah, one time when we were kids, we were tripping, and my buddies went to Newport Beach, and we ended up meeting them over there, and it was this night. We're all tripping, you know, and they were already tripping. We were fucking driving out there. We were already fucking, and we get out there, and I thought they were putting us on, and they're like, dude, fucking Justin is we had 2 Justins, but this was we called him Alf, but they're screaming Justin, but for the sake of this to separate the 2, he's like, Alf is in the fucking van and he won't let anybody in, and we're like, what do you mean? He goes, he is fucking stripped down to his fucking underwear, and he swears to God he's a caveman. And I'm peeking here, and I'm like, ah! And we're all fucking laughing. My buddy Steve, we're all fucking having a good time. And my buddy,
shit in the van.
My buddy Justin's like, the weed's in there, dude, and he won't let us in.
Oh.
And so we're like, okay, let's go and get the fucking weed. We go in there, dude. He's like, fucking freaking out. He's all doing all these like flips and shit in the fucking thing in his underwear, like fucking caveman style and shit, dude.
How fun.
And so we're like, all right, dude, we're just going to leave this one alone. Like, you guys weren't fucking kidding. So we went out and we're over in the fucking beach. A couple of my other buddies, high as fuck, decided they're going to swim to Catalina. So they're swimming out like what's known as like kind of like where the wedge is. It's like some of the gnarliest surf in the world, like shore break in the world. And they're out there fucking stripping down their skibbies, want to go swim out in the fucking thing. After a fucking wave smacks them around, they're like back in, like, yeah, fucking water's cold. It's kind of taken away from my high. I'm like, yeah, dude, you almost died, dude. That's what fucking happened out there. Then old boy fucking finally calmed down. They got the weed and shit, and we were smoking out by because you have fires out there. But yeah, dude,
we weren't allowed.
And some of the state beaches, some of the beaches have these fire pits.
Rings,
yeah,
it's a great idea.
Dude, one time.
New York, everything's fucking illegal. You can't have a boogie board. You can't have flippers.
Oh, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, either one of them will save your life. If you had a set of flippers and start getting sucked into an undertow, you can outswim it.
No, yeah. No, can't have that.
Boogie board, you can ride it out. Not going to get tired. Yeah, can't have that. It might hit an old lady who's here to sunbathe from another country and doesn't know how beaches work. Yeah.
In the bloomers.
You cut her shin open.
Jesus.
Yeah, no.
She doesn't move fast enough.
Get out of the way, Granny.
You didn't stay in shape? That's not my fault.
Yeah, that was we had some crazy times, dude. We had some, we had some friends have some freakouts on tripping and shit, dude. But I've never had a freak out before.
And so we were all camping out at this farm one time, and everybody's tripping, and we're all having a good time. We're probably about halfway through the night, and a good buddy of mine turns to me and he goes, "Hey, I'm going back to the house." I'm like, "All right, cool."
And he was tripping.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So about 30 minutes later, everybody's like, "Yo, where did he go?" And I'm like, "Oh, he said he was going back to the house." And they're like, "Dude, there's no house on this property."
I love these stories, dude. I love this shit.
Man, so we looked for him. We looked for him until the sun came up. We never found him. And then finally, it's like, well, shit, we got to get back to our lives. You know?
Angry.
We got to get back to our lives. He just walked off a cliff, dude. You're not going to send a search party or
No,
nothing.
I mean, like, so we were trying to figure out what to do. So as soon as we leave the farm, there's this cop car, right? And
Of course there's a cop car. Why wouldn't there be a cop car?
I'm going to go to the house, y'all. Late. I'm going to call it a night.
he's naked in the back of the cop car, right? We drive by.
He found a house.
He just kind of looks over at us while we're driving by. So we go to the police station and end up getting him sorted out or whatever. But I guess he didn't realize that there wasn't a house. He had gone looking for one. Instead, he found a construction site. And he stripped down because he gets naked when he sleeps, I guess. And went to sleep in like the little bucket of one of the earth movers. And when the guys got there at 6:30 in the morning, they're like, "Yo, kid, you gotta go, man."
That's fucking awesome.
He's like, "What are you doing in my room?"
Aliens.
Dude,
That's
why'd you
great.
leave the window open, dick? Dude, that's fucking hilarious. No, I've been really high. I've never been that high, though. I mean, I've been really fucking high where I couldn't see. Like, it was nothing but fucking, like, just patterns and visions and.
And I'm
you know
gonna
what I
throw
mean?
this out to the universe.
My eyes were closed.
I went to Amsterdam. Their space cakes aren't shit compared to our edibles.
Oh yeah,
said
well
it.
when I was over there,
Stroopwafel is the shit though.
it was
Yeah.
it was a while ago, but when I was over there, it was the last weekend they were having legal like mushrooms, like actual mushrooms, and they had like these little refrigerator cases, and they were all like they were selling fresh herbs, but they were all mushrooms and all different styles and like what they would do. And how they
Little
would
breakdowns about what they
Brain
do
shot,
and how they're gonna
yeah.
make you feel.
like this one's all visual, or this one will make all the colors vibrate, and
Yep.
I was like, whoa, and I was like, can I collect all 30?
Man,
Yeah, I'll buy the case. Can I take the case? I want the case.
so I freaked a bunch of people out when I was on mushrooms one time. We got these mushrooms from a buddy of mine who worked at a government facility, and he was supposed to be getting rid of like lots of stuff that they had been doing whatever with, and some of it was mushrooms, and he was like, hey, obviously I didn't get rid of these, let's take some. So I take some, like a relatively small dose, because I have to go to a rehearsal later on that day.
They've been weaponized.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm just like super fucked up. Like I'm getting like polygon vision. Everything is angling out. Like, you know what I mean?
You're really seeing like the patterns and shit.
Yeah, and I'm more used to like the body waves and stuff like that. You know, squiggle vision, colors. But this was like full on
Oh no, you're going into the next dimension, dog. You're
yeah.
not seeing the vibration.
cartoon world. You know what I
That's all
mean?
you gotta say.
Yeah.
Government mushrooms.
Yeah.
It's been weaponized.
So then a few hours later, I'm like coming down, and I got to go to this rehearsal.
G14.
And we get to the part where I'm supposed to start singing or whatever. And I get to my part, and my face just like doesn't work.
What?
And I'm like, sorry, everybody. And my face is just like stroking out on me every time I try to sing. I can talk, but every time I try to sing, I just like turn into mush mouth. And like at this point, the other, like some of the girls in the cast are like getting really freaked out, like, oh my God, what's going on? You know, like people are worried about me. And I just, like my buddies who know that I'm high because I was hanging out with them earlier, just cracking up. And the director kind of pulls me aside and he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, okay, so like, here's what's going on. I took some mushrooms earlier today. And he's like, all right. Just go ahead and go home, man. I know you know it. You'll be fine. But I forgot to like go back in and tell everybody else, all right, yeah, I'll see you later, you know? So like, they're like, did Gus just have a stroke and have to leave? Like, what's going on?
His mom got him.
Did he have a stroke? He's like, you should have walked by dragging your foot.
Man, I mean, shit, honestly, I might have, you know? Just a little one.
Hey, you know my good friend, he had a stroke where he had to go to the hospital, you know, and they were like looking at your fucking brain and shit, dude. They're like, you're having strokes like all the time, every day. What? They're like, you're constantly having strokes. They're like, you need to change some shit right now, dude. They're like, your brain's being attacked like you're an 80-year-old man. I was like, fuck. But I told my buddy, I said, hey, dude, there's life with this shit because I know this dude named Gilligan. All right. No. You can live with head trauma.
True story.
You can live without your frontal lobe. Tell him, Gilly.
Yeah. Just takes you years to remember things again.
Yeah.
Years.
You know, one of the things that I'm always worried about, like getting older and shit, dude, especially because, like, you know, it's going to happen and stuff, is like, I have a lot of stories and stuff, you know, but I'm not like, I don't know. I'm not like the whole, you know, other than like now and stuff, like I'm not like a story kind of guy, like, and one of the things is I'm afraid when I get older I'm not going to be that guy that tells the same story and the same thing over and over again, you know. I think I'm going to be, what I'm afraid of is I'm going to start revealing passwords and fucking, you know what I mean? Like it answers to the fucking to the deals getting in, because that's all I'm trying to remember. Like that and theme songs to fucking game shows, or like the TV
You'll never
shows.
forget that.
You know what I mean?
That's burned in there.
Like for still, like, they're gonna. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I dream of you.
Or like, or just, yeah, just any regular fucking. I'll just be like, I'll just be talking to my great grandchildren about, the world don't move to the beat of one drum.
They're gonna think you're deep for that too. Really?
What might be right for you may not be right for some.
He's gonna be Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, also pretty happy days. You know what? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, happy days.
Happy days.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Man.
Let me just tell you in 4, 2, 2.
So let me just explain something people don't explain. You were down in Florida. You were in Georgia, Gus. They have blue laws down there where you cannot go and get things on certain days of the week at certain times of the day.
It's called a what?
Blue law, right?
Blue law.
What type of things?
You
Like
cannot
alcohol
purchase alcohol on Sunday.
or a firearm.
Yeah, the city of Atlanta just changed that. I think within like the past 7 or 8 years, maybe.
Now
Oh
you
shit,
can.
they get in the
Yeah,
internet too.
Specifically the beer on Sundays thing, but there's still a bunch of laws like that.
That's weird because California just
Everybody's-
okayed bars open until 4 a.m. DUI's amok.
Man, we
New
used
York,
to.
New York's had it for years.
Well,
And
yeah.
they all know, like, this new shift is coming on at 4 a.m. They can handle the drunks.
Man, at 1 a.m. on a Saturday night, we'd have to drive over to Alabama to get more beer to keep the party going.
Oh man, that's
You
terrible,
could have
dude.
thought ahead, but that's more fun your way.
Well, but
Yeah,
you think
yeah.
ahead, and then you just drink more beer, and then
yeah,
you
you
still
still
gotta
end
go.
up
Seriously,
back in
dude.
Alabama.
Dude, one time we were on the sea for I think 3 days. We had like 5 kegs of beer and like all this fucking stack. Cause my buddy works, he owns a brewery and shit, dude. It was fucking ridiculous. And we went through like everything, and then everything that was stocked in the bar on the boat. It was unbelievable.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I never got sick once, but once you have all
Stay
that
drunk.
booze, whenever
Stay
you have
drunk, you're fine.
yeah, once you have all that booze, like Gus, you'll burn through it. You know what I mean? Like then you're on
There's
it.
more.
We're on adventure, Unless
We
you got
need
like a
to
lot
be
of food.
fucking wrecked for this. You know, it'd be funny if I smashed this table with my elbow.
Set yourself on fire.
I love watching that videos of that drunk people doing stupid shit.
Oh yeah. Well, that's our Fremont Street down here.
Right.
I always like watching the drunk people give the guy that fucking $20, so they can kick him in the balls, and then they're so drunk they miss. Like, dude, the guy was standing right there. How do you miss?
That poor guy. What's
How do you
his story?
fucking miss?
It still takes you 20.
Does he
Oh, yeah,
have a
totally,
pair,
yeah.
Does he have just a pair of acorn testicles, like somebody carved him new testicles?
Jeez. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
You gotta be
get-
wearing a cup, right?
No, a cup
No.
ain't gonna do nothing for you, dude. Cup
It's
ain't
just
gonna
gonna
do
hurt
nothing.
the groin muscle around it.
Right.
Yeah, a cup ain't gonna do
Fucking
shit
hernia.
for you, man.
So few pros.
No,
wear a
and he
cup.
wears like he wears like pants that's like you're served up. It's right there. It's just he's kind of got that Shaolin monk thing, dude.
I'd wear Jenkos for sure.
Lots of denim to break the impact.
It's a fucking gypsy,
Just stand
it's a
on the
gypsy trick.
heels and limit the kick. That's funny. That's a carnival trick from Ralph's family.
Well, I always said if he does have a pair of fucking balls in there, I go, why don't you just fucking go up and give him a flick in one? That'll fucking drop him. That's all
Yeah.
it takes to fucking drop a guy.
Yeah.
A dog with the fucking tail, waggy tail, fucking whap. A kid with a stick, a kid with the little music recorder, fucking done, dude. Tap right in the testicle.
A little testy tap.
Dude, when I was a kid, this guy would fucking whip people with his fucking his car antenna, a little wire, black wire fucking antenna.
Now they
Just
put
give
a
me the
magnet
fucking
on the
chill.
end of it.
Oh.
And it's fucking. It's legit. They sell them at AutoZone.
Oh, dude, fucking
The mini magnet.
yeah. No, I got hit in the fucking dick with it one time when me and him were fucking around and shit, dude. Woo! I'd fucking cut his throat if I could, dude. That fucking hurt. That was fucking terrible. You know what I
My
mean?
buddy blew a trumpet in my ear when we were 12. Fucking
Oh,
bled.
dude. I would have fucking chopped him in the throat till he couldn't
Too
have
much-
breathed
too
anymore,
much fucking
dude.
pain, man. You don't know what that's like.
My buddy fucking threw ice and it hit me, a cup of ice, and it hit me in the ear, and it hit me like the water, just perfect, like fucking pop, like, and I fucking threw him right into a cactus, dude. Like, is an instant reflex. Fucking retarded strength. Like, dude, don't you ever fucking. He didn't know what the fuck. He thought he was just fucking around. Like, ah. But he got me good, dude. Fuck him up with
My
it.
parents went to Mexico, so my aunt was watching us, and she had 4 kids. There was 3 of us. We went to the diner, and I reached around like my brother and flipped a piece of pickle on my cousin's head.
Man.
And he fucking turned around, and I just pointed at the guy in the booth behind us. So he dipped a French fry in ketchup and whipped it at the guy's head. The guy's just eating dinner. I was like, no.
Dude. That's funny, dude.
So
Now I see why people say that's funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
so you didn't get into an argument with your wife about having an Alexa in the house?
About having the Alexa? No, just about the mushrooms. Alexa was a great idea when we got it. It's supposed to help you shop. It's supposed to give you music, news, sports, weather.
But it also
traffic.
listens to it's like having the NSA in your house.
Waiting for her to say the word. Waiting for you to say the word Alexa. She listens to every fucking thing that comes out of your mouth. So if you have an argument with your wife about selling that last eighth of mushrooms again and again and again and again and again and again, and she's listening to you and you start getting fucking ads for mushroom companies, like, all right, I get it. I'm not selling mushrooms anymore.
She,
That's why my mushroom supply has been dry for 2
I won't say
fucking years.
she,
It's so
but
long we've had Alexa.
what's his name? Fucking Amazon. Bezos has like thousands of employees listening to all those conversations, fucking like
Yeah.
crunching data and storing it and shit, dude. Fucking.
Oh, no.
What is that? What does that fucking
Oh,
end
damn
up
it.
going into?
This is going on my permanent record, just like the shit I said in school.
Yeah, dude.
So how about
Hey, they said I wouldn't have a calculator in my pocket too, and I fucking do.
There you go.
Motherfuckers. Got more than that.
Right.
the Smithsonian.
You're not just gonna have a calculator with you.
I got the Smithsonian in my fucking hands. I can see anything in the fucking.
Isn't that phenomenal?
Yeah, but you were saying, Gus?
yeah? How about these new thermostats that they want everybody to have in town? You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
I'm
They're,
vaguely
I know
they're
familiar.
going
I know
around
the
offering
next
them
generation,
to people
yes.
for free, and you can wirelessly connect them
to your phone.
to your phone, to your system at the house.
Okay, yeah.
But it has a microphone in it. You can talk to it, and it automatically connects wirelessly. And,
Automatically raises your heat during, or your air conditioning. Raise your air conditioning 5 degrees during peak times.
My buddy, long time ago, had the very first integrated computer ran house here in Las Vegas. It's up in Summerlin and stuff like that. But now it's given by who's handing that out?
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. I
Not
don't
about
really
it.
know who it is that's giving me this thing for free that has a microphone in it that sits in the middle of my house all day. You know what I mean?
You don't know who gave it to you? It's not like
I
it's
actually
like-
said no.
It's not like this is Apple or this is
No, they're just
This is
going around the
Cox
whole city,
Cable or-
and they're like, "Hey, we're trying to like help people with their energy costs. Here's this free thing." You know?
Oh hell no, dude! Really?
Yeah.
That's some bullshit, dude.
And they were super weird about it when I said I didn't want it. I was like, you know what? I'm good. And they're like, but it does this and that and blah 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 blah.
Listens to your conversations and tells people your measurements.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
like,
I'll
oh,
just-
we don't have Wi-Fi. I don't need it. No thanks.
I'll just put it on the electric timer.
Even my wife's not dumb enough to fall for the new thermostat gig. Like, I was like, free thermostats.
Look what it does!
Without
There's-
mercury?
The best one in the
it'll lock
world.
the dog door.
That's the best one in the world. That little circular one. Turn it from heat to cool.
Yeah, nah, it's all good.
Can't have that. That's so old-fashioned. Ew.
That's good.
It's like having a doorbell that doesn't show up on your phone.
My house is guarded by a shotgun, a dog, and a pistol.
Right?
Even though I got an old hound.
A dog named Pistol.
Yeah, dog named Pistol. Yes, that'll work. That's a good name for a dog.
Horse named Shotgun.
Of course, they both got shotguns.
Yeah, right? My monkey's armed, though. His name's Buddha.
What were you saying about the Holocaust you wanted to talk about?
About how the LSD has helped people who were survivors of the Holocaust
Oh, that's right.
to overcome survivor's guilt. after
Hey, that-
losing so
you know,
many relatives.
LSD
That's a term
amazing.
we're gonna hear a lot. That's a term we're gonna hear a lot about
Survivor's
survivor's guilt when it comes into when we get into the survivors from the school shooting. There was a couple kids from the Parkland school shooting that have committed suicide.
Yeah.
There was like a parent from Sandy Hook or something like that. That was like a kind of like a survivor's guilt thing, they say.
Yeah.
But sorry, Vegas shooting. A survivor's guilt kind of thing. One of them killed themselves, and I was like, that could be like a new thing that they could add to the list of like these people on psychotropic drugs, this depression,
Right.
all this stuff to help out.
They're doing studies for MDMA right now.
But no, but I was saying like they
PTSD.
could use this as an excuse to off people, to suicide people that have like that fucking testimony that doesn't go along with the official.
Oh, absolutely.
With the official score. It's a very easy way to fucking suicide somebody.
Didn't they level Sandy Hook since? Like, it's not even there anymore.
Yeah, what's funny too is I guess because I listened to Infowars and Alex Jones and the guests that he has on and stuff like that, but even Gooch, fucking I've talked about this before. He's like, dude, just admit Sandy Hook happened, just admit it. And I was like, when did I fucking say it didn't, dude? Like I'm not a part of that. Like that's never been my thing. Like the only thing I do know is when you check into it. It gets fucking really weird. Really, really weird. And you're like, whoa. And then when you look at the people that tried to say anything about it, lives destroyed. That's as much as I'll say about fucking Sandy Hook. It's weird.
Yeah,
It's weird. Yeah. Kids did die, I'm sure. You
Here's
know what
the
I mean?
thing.
I'm not
Here's the
not
thing.
saying that they
we
did.
have been shielded from the realities of the world by things like CNN and Fox and everybody else who just want to talk about the president, the Congress, the banks are failing, the banks are failing. What the fuck? What's going on in England? What's going on in India? What's going on in Turkey?
Or
What's going on
Yemen.
in Israel? Yemen, any of these places.
Do you
the
see
Middle
any
East.
of our news talking about a fucking, this is one of the things that I don't like about Trump. One of the many things that I'm against, but they're still selling arms. Really, he has no control, even though he's a military guy. It's the military-industrial complex is running the fucking deal because he's like, I'm just gonna leave it to the generals, that kind of thing.
MIC.
But they're selling all those arms to the fucking Saudis, and then the Saudis are fucking blasting the Yemen. The Yemen are like the poorest country in the world, and you have the richest country in the world just fucking annihilating them fucking daily. Where is that on any of our news? And one of the things about this, on the news, if you notice, ever since fucking Obama got in office, the left has been totally capitulant with war. They used to be totally anti-war before fucking Obama. When it was Bush, they were like, fuck this, fucking da 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 da. They was fucking anti-war. Fucking Black Jesus gets in. And then next thing you know, everybody's like, oh, yeah, no, drone bombings. Oh, yeah, no, don't worry about it, dude. Nobel Peace Prize. Here, you started fucking 4 more wars you out-Bush Bush. You know what I mean?
There's a local here in town, good kid. I don't want to say his name just in case, but he posted something today. What if you got $5 million for pushing a button?
Hold on. Hold on 1 second before you get into pushing the button. Fucking. Here's the thing: is afterwards, after that, anybody on the left that was anti-war was attacked. Mm-hmm. It was weird how that switched. It was really weird. And then the fight comes back to the soil. Then it mostly becomes about more race this and sex that and stuff like that. They fucking totally got away with why are we going in Iraq? Why are we over this and that and the other thing? Mm-hmm. And they were all fucking poking holes in the military-industrial complex. And then everybody pulled back after Obama, and now no one even gives a fuck when Trump's in there. They're like, Wah! It's like, dude, come on, like the fucking wars are still going on, like we need to think about that shit. Real quick side note, I'm not into socialism or whatever. I'm not into the free, but I will say this: if we fucking stop the wars, we could pay for everything. So why fucking, you know what I mean? Like, dude, all we do is we stop the wars. We could have everything we're going to have light
Nobody
rail.
questions having the money for fucking war. Ever.
Not ever.
No.
Ever.
And we spend a lot of money on it. We give a lot of money in taxes. I would rather live in fucking Norway where they're like, hey, we are taking 70%, but you have a good living and a pension after 20 years. Hope you like fish.
They're that fucking canned shark.
Yeah. It's funny, but there's like European transplants on my mother's island in Florida, and they have like fucking herring at the Dollar Tree. Ugh, right? Oysters in a can. I don't want a can of oysters. That sounds so horrible.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, dude, we stopped the fucking wars. We'd have whatever the fuck everybody wants. You know what I mean? The shit that we spend on the war is unbelievable. Like, dude, you know how much money NASA gets a day?
Crazy money.
$52 million a day NASA gets fucking a day. It's got to be triple that for the
Telling
fucking
the
war.
lie, Gus.
Who knows what the fucking they get for the war
Yeah,
a day?
I'll get on the phone to the people at Langley.
Ah, there you go. Fucking family biz, dude.
Man, I'll tell you what. I was in Europe when the Saddam toppling happened or whatever.
And when they're pushing over the statue?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I remember distinctly was when I got back to America, the point of view of that whole event was very different. I was in London when it happened, and it was very much like, oh, look at this thing that we all did, and it was a group effort, and blah, blah, blah. And then when I got to America, it was like, look what these American soldiers achieved by themselves. Like,
Oh,
what?
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and I was like, whoa, all right now.
Masters of the industrial complex.
Yeah, right?
Oh, dude, before I was like really, before I knew anything really, when I went over to went over to Europe, I still was kind of like not in my awakened mode yet. I was going through the process, but people would come up to me and they just start talking geopolitics, and I'm like, dude, like.
I like Looney Tunes.
I was like, bro, I'm like, you're dropping fucking names and people I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Angela Merkel.
yeah, and well, I would just remember telling this one guy. I remember telling this one guy.
I was in Germany when she got elected.
Yeah, they take it.
Had they take it? They burned. It burned.
I'm sure some places must have.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there was. I
No,
think
no,
everybody knew that she was gonna be. Pretty
Dude,
much.
it was a robbery. Her shit was like a sham. That last one or whatever. But
You know, Putin's a dictator. He's been in charge for 25 fucking years or something.
Yeah,
How do we
because
allow
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
in this
I
day
was
and age?
8,
Rigged
so like
elections,
14
dude.
years ago she's been in, I think.
dude, it's
So
pretty
sad.
easy to win when your opposition dies, so they always back out. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he's like, oh yeah, you know what? He ate a toadstool. You know, he was in luxury spa, died mud bath. You know, like
Fell asleep peacefully.
yeah, glub glub. That was a recording.
Next.
Yeah. What's your next political opponent?
And that's the thing we don't realize. Like, people sit here and they're like, that dude is evil. He has people killed. Not our beloved first George Bush, who worked for the CIA. They'd never do that.
No, yeah, dude. Well, see, dude, a lot of people don't know this, but Bush has been in fucking charge longer than anybody, because technically in the White House, he's in with Reagan. They said he was pretty much Reagan's handler, like he was the one calling the shots. He was the one that arranged. You know, the Bush family was family friends with the Hinkles, the guy that tried to shoot fucking Ronald Reagan. Hinckley. He tried to shoot, but they were family fucking friends. Admitted later on. Anyways, he's into that term. Then he's into his term. Right. Then there's a lot of people don't know this, but the Bushes were actually all working together with the Clintons. Then all that fucking Mena, Arkansas, all the cocaine running with like all that shit. They kept all that. Yeah, they got all that. Fucking cat fucking in the back over there. But
Not one allergy sufferer in the world. Doesn't feel it bad for him. No.
So technically, when you look at like the how they're all together, with their inner circlings and stuff, George Bush and then the stuff that they actually did, and the people that benefited, George Bush's hands all through the Clintons, then back to his son, and even Obama in there because Obama's a
In
part
their
of the
pocket.
same. Yeah, it's all the military-industrial complex, all the people that work together, the big oil with the Saudis. Everybody's working with the Saudis. That's all
nobody
Bush.
said anything when Obama came out after a first term as a senator, and they were like, "We're going to run him for president."
Dude, no one's questioning this Casio or Cortez. They showed she came out of a casting thing. She even admits it. They do a whole documentary. She's like, she answered a fucking an ad for people that wanted. We need somebody to run.
That's great. Look
So-
at her; she's hot.
Hey, dude, it's working.
They're going to make her president, but not this time.
Nah.
2024.
No, dude.
She's got to be what, 36 first?
She'll implode.
35.
She'll implode.
She'll have handlers by then.
She has handlers, dude. The whole fucking, I forget what organization it is. but,
FBI.
no, yeah.
They watch everything she does.
No, they control. They get there on that fucking. They got that Instagram. She got that Instagram with her all fucking drinking and shit on there, dude. Isn't that the thing with like the Democrats now? The one Democrat's drinking a beer with her husband, treating him like a dude. Quit fucking swinging that old ass arm around, fucking like this. But like, dude, even though this place is haunted, we don't need it to give that fucking haunted fucking.
Sounds like a door opening.
Yeah, seriously.
It's weird. I don't know. There's just something happened in this room, and I feel almost like I'm hallucinating. Not a lot, but mildly. Colors
Yeah, it's
are a
very,
little-
it's very chill.
like all of a sudden I like his sign.
Easy Rider. But
People are always like, Easy Rider, and I'm like, yeah, the first 2/3 of it are great.
yeah, dude. Then he kind of just tapers off like a turd. Sorry, but
Gets exponentially worse into the last 30 seconds.
but
Never seen it.
Easy Rider
My father hated that guy.
Oh, it'll break your heart.
Wasn't allowed in the house.
wasn't allowed in that. Yeah,
Which one, Nicholson?
No.
Get the fuck out of the house, Jack.
Hopper or Fonda?
Fonda.
Fonda, yeah,
Hated the family
yeah, of course, dude.
since
Fucking
the 60s when he was looking to serve his country.
yeah, a lot of that, dude.
My dad ran away. There was two of us, me and my older sister, and he just fucking hated Asian people. After World War II, he just hated them. He didn't trust them, so he wanted to go to Vietnam and fight. Told them he was a single guy, no job. He was a cop in New York, and they caught him. Made him sort mail somewhere in Texas for like 4 months before they sent him home to my mother.
Damn.
Boy, he was.
Came back that he was married, had kids, had a job. He was a cop. Just fucking wanted to go shoot Asian people, and they're like, no. You just go back to the streets and round up other people.
Yeah, we need you to kill innocents there.
So they had him like chill out in Texas and sort it out.
Yeah,
that was your like back to reality.
slow it down.
Give him a nice even job like postman.
Yeah, right.
Right. Like people don't go crazy at post offices or anything.
Nothing will make you feel better than sorting mail under pressure, huh?
Yeah, dude, always coming to work strapped, something always in the car, baby, ready to go.
Man, my grandfather was career military, and he told me the only thing he ever felt guilty about, he never felt guilty about pulling a trigger, but he felt guilty about rounding up Japanese American citizens and putting them in camps.
Uh-huh.
He was like, it was so wrong, like they were still Americans,
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy because, like,
It's a panic mode. That
People
happens,
forget
though.
that happened. That wasn't that long ago,
Well, the whole World War II wasn't that long ago. Our problem was we saw it in black and white when we were kids.
Yeah.
There was no colorized stuff for us to learn how horrible it was. Like, that's if Canada just decided to destroy Idaho. This is ours, rightfully so. We'll smash it to the ground and rebuild in the name of our nation. Take the remaining homes to yourselves, gentlemen.
well, it's even worse is the administration knew and they rearranged the ships. They fucking put all the new ships out to sea.
But then it got too good.
They
and
left
it turned
the-
into a full-blown war.
Well, no, that was to get us in, man. That was the whole plan. That was the whole plan, was to get the because after World War I, everybody vowed to never get into another world conflict again. That was the war to end all wars. They said they'd never get into another fucking war, another
Global
world war.
conflict.
Yeah, but if I'm thinking about starting a global conflict, the second everybody says, "Oh, hey, let's not do that," that's when I'm going to do it. Like as soon
Yeah.
as everybody's like, "Hey, let's all put our guard down. None of us are going to
So
do
we
this
should melt
anymore."
our guns? Absolutely.
Well, what ends up happening was there's like big industry, right? so there's big industry, and there's all this stuff going in place, and then you slowly have like there's like a lot of stuff going on, but then you slowly have like the rise of Hitler and all stuff like that, right? Everything that was used to make certain things, like we're just like gets immediately converted into weaponry and all stuff. And those companies that were making this are now making bullets. Now they're making big armaments. They're making because they had those materials, right? Yeah, they had all these materials.
Did you hear?
So then they start getting these big government contracts, right? And they're tied in with the big banking, and then there you go. What I'm getting at is, like Gus said, like immediately once everybody calls like truce, I'd be fucking mobilizing. I'd be getting shit going, right? Well,
That's why they killed Patton, man.
Yep.
At the end of his career, he was like, we got to keep going.
Russia.
We got to go after the Russians. They're not really our friends. And then they killed him.
yeah. Well, that's the thing is these people once they get in that position of power, it never fucking stopped. They just kept fucking they just mobilized a different way before they can fucking get in and really get things away. Because then you start getting into compulsory schooling. And this was all designed, and this was from the early 1900s, and also in right around the time of World War I. But they just make compulsory schooling where they were trying to create warriors, or they're trying not warriors. They're trying to create military, soldiers.
We had the presidential fitness challenge, climbing ropes and knocking dummies out of the way.
They were making factory workers. They were making automaton people that wouldn't question or anything. Woodrow Wilson said, he's quoted as saying, there's two educations. There's one for the masses who are going to run everything, and then there's ones for the doctors, the lawyers, and the government people and stuff like that, our people.
Yeah, we have 14 colleges that are acceptable for us.
Yeah, exactly, and it's our people, and da-da-da-da. And so that what ends up happening there is you get this slow progression into getting everything set, everything ready, patriotism. Like my grandparents, actually they were a little bit after my grandparents, but they grew up in what's called the greatest generation or whatnot during that World War, because all that patriotism, American was great. They're getting ready, and then once you have everything, it's looking good. We're in the promised land. Everything's going well. Bam, disrupt that. Fucking take everything that you have, you put it into the war machine.
Oil, we need more oil.
And then you start growing, and then everything fucking, you're having chaos. These people make all this money, fucking purchase more resources. Necessity ends up being used for
it really bothered me
rebuilding.
About the Middle East that we were able to build these people palaces where they just have 365 Mercedes-Benzes that they don't use. It's just one per day. Like, how much are you fucking charging us? Whatever we want.
Yeah, no. And
Stuff
again,
costs us 30 cents a barrel.
that's all like
$90.
That's all tied in. That's all tied into like all these people, like these certain groups. You can call them secret societies, but these certain
You
groups.
think they're not?
I know they are, but you
There's
say that
pretty
people get
wide
weird.
open societies. You work on Wall Street, you have a nice living.
Well, and they only hire the best and the brightest from, Harvard and fucking Yale, right? Is that maybe
Otherwise,
fucking
you
Princeton
get a
or some
shitty
shit?
job where you have to work your way up from runner to paper shredder or whatever the fuck.
Fucking boiler room shit,
Yeah.
dude. They don't bring you in when you do because the person who gets brought in collapses. All those people, they're all on a different vibration than every one of us, dude.
Yep.
It's bred into them. They fucking hobnob with the same people. The kids already have it. It's built into them. It just gets cultivated in their
The
lifestyle.
women are hot, slutty-looking broads who are
We
always
have
the
to.
same.
Well, we have to learn those things that they know in order to operate. Otherwise, your throat's fucking cut every fucking corner. Mm-hmm. Sorry, that was my rant.
Yeah, it sounded like one.
They go off.
But I was just thinking while you were ranting about Pablo Escobar. I watched the thing on Colombian television. It was 74 episodes. So I was speaking fluent Colombian by the time it was over. He used to have to answer to his wife. Like, he'd be in a room with his buddies like this. He's like, all right, you go and burn down the corner of this fucking hotel. You go and kill all these people. You just hang on, honey. What do you mean? I'm not making bombs. That's what I'm saying. The government's making bombs and saying I'm doing it. Like, you stop right now, Pablo.
Oh man, crazy dude. Yeah, no, it's like that, dude. There's a dude that's afraid of a Chihuahua chick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, those broads from Chihuahua are known to be a little feisty.
I'm all man,
any
dude.
Latinas, bro. They're fiery.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, I my wife's half black and half Filipino, so I get that fucking American anger and that fucking third world hunger. You know, there's a lot of spiciness going on there. A lot of stabbings with that too. You know,
Right.
a lot of left hooks.
Yeah.
A lot of left hooks.
Any
Quick
spicy
hands.
country like that.
Quick.
Yeah.
Like I said, my wife's Italian. It took years to make her just fucking, all right, don't throw something. Just stop. Tell me what's on your mind.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
need to fix the door again.
Dude, they're like the Marines. You go in.
You're out drunk until 2:30. The bars don't close till 4. I'm home early. The fuck?
Kill first,
You have to
fucking ask
work at
questions
4.
later.
Yeah.
No, definitely, dude. Yeah, you'll get that. But so, has anybody had a life-changing moment on psychedelics? Something that really careened you off in a different direction?
Hell yeah. I realized when I was on mushrooms once that I'm never going to be able to take Valium.
Were you dependent on Valium? Like, is it every day?
No, but I would go to it for things like I want to quit smoking. I need to relax. I'm going on an airplane. You have some. You know, like I wouldn't go hunt it down, but I didn't turn it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was on mushrooms, and I was like, you just need to fucking relax, bro. 90% of your back problems is stress because you don't know how to relax. I got to Las Vegas, and I was like, the light is fucking green and has been since I leaned on the horn. Like,
Jesus, dude. Fucking stressed me out with that right there.
right? We didn't know how to relax. There's none of that in New York. Hey, we're at the beach. This is stupid. Now what?
Yeah. You know, that's just
Been here for 40 fucking minutes.
you know, that's just the personality, though, because I have some people on the tours, man, like, man, you should have just drove your own car out there. You can just make click, 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 take some pictures and just go.
Right.
Because you can give a fuck about anything, and then you're just you're trying to sweat everybody by standing out in front of the bus. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to go. Yeah, no, people do it all the time, dude. You know? They'll stand out in front of the window in front of the restaurant, like, pace back and forth and shit, dude. It's like, you fucking gambling degenerate. You know?
Yeah.
Can't survive fucking 4 to 6 hours outside of gambling.
That stinks. That's a shitty life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But has anybody else had it? So was mushrooms like, was Valium that debilitating to you though, or is it like really like, were you
Ever since then, if I take Valium, I'll get irate.
Yeah.
Like it was this thing that happened. Like I was just on mushrooms one day. There was nothing about like I'm gonna sit down and kick Valiums. I was just like, you're not gonna fuck around with those things.
Is that any prescription pill like that, or is it?
I
just...
don't have a problem with prescription pills. That's the thing. If they ever gave me painkillers, it's because I was in pain, and I didn't know. I want to say it was somewhere around my 8th surgery. I was like, bring me some Percocet in the hospital, okay?
Yeah.
I didn't know. They're like, take one tablet every 4 to 6 hours. I'm like, it's been 4. It's like 3.5 hours. I want to. Then you find out your friends are like, no, bro, take 2 and then take 1 every 2 hours.
Yeah.
No, that's a little much.
Yeah. No.
Now I just have a shovel in my hand. Oh, it feels great. 4 days ago surgery. Yeah, no, still have stitches.
Yeah. No. Hell no. How about you guys?
That one at the reggae festival, I don't know that it was like it like changed my life or whatever, but I was just very honest and open, and I felt like this is like the path I want to stay on, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
You had like a little self-auditing moment there where you
Yeah.
kind of like,
yeah, and it was it was with somebody else too, so it was like I got to share it and like be very honest for the first time, maybe ever. You
was
know
it
what
a
I mean?
total stranger? Or what?
No, it was with somebody I knew.
No, sometimes you have some like deep conversations with people you never even met. You know,
Right.
you'll never see again
That's
either.
what cocaine does.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Why
never
did I
done
end
it,
up
so I
your
don't
best
know.
fucking friend? Why do you keep going to the bathroom?
Yeah, I think the last thing I need for my conversation is cocaine.
Right.
But I'm just saying. How about you, Gus?
Yeah. So I was at a party. It was a cast party on a Saturday night. And I guess one of my friends at the party didn't realize that we still had to do a matinee the next day. And he dosed a few of us. And, like we had a great time. I was a little mad for a second, but then it was like, all right, just ride it out and have fun.
Free drugs.
Right. Yeah. So then the next morning I'm like, not peaking, but still coming down, and I have to go do this show. And there was one other guy in the show who was in the same situation as me.
Did you get any rest?
No, not at all. I was just like up through the whole thing.
You just
I was
went
like,
right on into it?
I'll sleep after the show, right?
Okay, yep.
Yeah. So I'm totally fine the whole show, so long as I don't look at my buddy who's also coming down off of the acid.
Because why you start...
Yeah, like look at anybody but him on stage, you know what I mean? But yeah, we got through it, got through like all this fucking dialogue, and then the next thing you know, it's over. And from that moment on, I was kind of like, you know what? Like when you're performing or whatever, no matter what happens, an hour or 2 hours from now, it's going to be over. You're still going to be alive. And whatever happened is probably going to be worth laughing about, So it just kind of like took all of the stress that I had ever had about it, kind of just like went away. It's cool.
Kind of simplifies dying too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, hey,
4 seconds after you're gone.
we'll see what happens. I don't think I'm really going to have to worry about it.
Yeah, my great-grandfather thought his death was horrific or whatever, tragic. I don't even know the guy. It was that long ago. Our grandchildren's kids won't know us.
What was it? What's it like performing acting while you're tripping?
Man, so it was kind of like a muscle memory thing. And again, I hadn't really done that on purpose. It was kind of like, oh shit, I just have to deal with this. This is my job. I have to do it.
Yeah.
So I did it, and it was fine. There was another time where I did it on purpose, and I was in a show where, and these are the best kind of shows where you only have to do like one song. That's all you got to do, and then you get to go sit and chill backstage for the rest of the thing. So I do it for this one show, and it was Rocky Horror, so I'm playing Eddie, and I pop out, I sing the song for Eddie or whatever, tripping balls. I chuck a beer in the like during the song, and then they chop me up with a chainsaw, stuff me in a freezer. So then later on, somebody tells me like, hey, you know why this building got closed? Like why it's a theater now instead of a meatpacking place? And I'm like, no, why? And they're like, oh man, yeah, a guy who worked here got chopped up and put in one of the freezers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so then at that point I was like, damn, I feel like I'm being kind of disrespectful to this spirit or whatever, But then I was like, fuck it, and we just, had a good time, did the show.
How cool. I'm going to step in and co-host for a second while Trevor steps away. Using your slave name while you're gone. You can't even defend yourself, Trevor.
Trevor.
Always takes the swipe.
So here's the thing.
No, he was putting the alarm on the door. I'm like, dude, I'm not too versed with the alarm. I know how to set it. So
We don't want to stay forever.
yeah, like I don't want to think I'm setting it when I undo it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, we're good.
Right on.
But yeah, man, I don't think it's for everybody. But, I did it when I was a little bit younger, and I had a great time. So
There are certain things I don't hesitate to tell my children about. You know what I mean? And using drugs like this, hallucinogenics,
I wish
there's
people-
always a benefit.
I wish people had been more honest.
Always come out on the other side. Yeah.
I wish people had been more honest about it from the get-go because
Right.
I tried weed when I was like 12. And I was
What?
like-
I should send you to rehab.
and it was like, oh, everybody's been lying to me about this my entire life. This
Right.
is awesome.
No, that's the thing. Okay, that's like the strict like religious upbringing. When the kids turn 18, they get wild, like the Mormon kids and all that stuff like that. But it's the thing is it has to be conveyed, because exactly what you're saying is it has to be conveyed as it starts out very innocent, and then it becomes like a daily thing. Then it becomes a fucking fight for it. Like every fucking next thing you know, you're fucking completely wrapped up. They only show you that but there's the progression where it makes the switch of recreational use to daily use to fucking fiend levels, to compromising your shit. And then the next thing you know, you're fucking full blown. Like, you're letting go of everything. You're letting that fucking drive you. And that's what will happen. And what's sad is like with prescriptions and shit like that.
You will give up your house.
Well, but the thing is it happens to people who just get injured.
Yeah.
and they're just trying to go through. But afterwards, now they
that's
need
how they
that
thin the
feeling.
herd,
Yeah,
bro.
they don't know any better.
No, it's
Somebody
really-
says,
We don't
"Hey,
have
take
enough.
this; it'll make you better."
Yeah, no, and everybody believes the white coats and all that stuff, and I get it, dude. If I have immediate pain, like Western medicine's great, but for any kind of other thing,
Work it out.
Yeah, you know, yeah, dude.
You
It's,
need more cauliflower.
do the best you can before you got to go that way, and then I really honestly, like, if you take any of that stuff, I honestly believe you should do some kind of like detox. I think there's a heavy metal kind of detox. My one friend I grew up with, it's crazy. He has to take all these drugs. He has these crazy headaches and stuff like that. He has to take all these drugs. He was giving all these ketamine treatments, LSD treatments, all this stuff, all government stuff, and he's getting all these prescription pills and all this stuff, to check. And every few months he goes and checks into a detox and like a government facility. He fucking gets hunkered away for like 30 days, like 1 month, gets his body totally clean so he can get back on that regimen because he can't sleep. He just like basically does drugs to rest his mind so he can fucking get up and go do the rest of his day.
Man, nothing makes
crazy.
people weirder.
And he's an
than not
amazing dude.
sleeping.
What's that?
Nothing makes people weirder than not sleeping.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's an attack on your, it's used as a torture device.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. I went to boot camp.
the only thing is I can fucking sleep through a gunfight, dude. Like, I can sleep through fucking anything.
After you get out of boot camp, you can.
I don't need boot camp for that. I've had head trauma where I can just
Bro,
fucking
this-
zonk
the
out
dude
right
comes
now.
up and he just flips your bunk over and throws garbage cans at people like that. When I was in, now I heard it's a little different. I think they're more polite to people.
Well, if they fucking
Would
flip,
you wake up?
Excuse me, Kevin.
I would wake up, but I wouldn't be looking. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. No.
Yeah, my first day in boot camp, I thought they'd let us sleep in because it was Saturday.
Boy, were you wrong.
Yeah, we had like 2.5 hours of sleep. That motherfucker was throwing a garbage can like, what? No. I didn't get enough sleep. I'm thirsty.
When was the first time you took anything? How old were you?
86, 87, 21. I was in the military.
21. The first time you took any hallucinogenic? What was it?
Half a tab of bladder acid.
Half a tab bladder acid. How about
Never
you?
smarter in my whole life.
Yeah. No. Totally.
Like 14.
14.
Yeah.
I think I was about the same age. 14.
Yeah. Skipped school. Went to hang out with the cool kids. Got out of hand. Rolled with it.
Got out of hand, huh?
I think I was probably like a senior in high school. My parents were out of town, and me and like 6 buddies were like a shroom trip at my house when my parents were out of town, and it was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was like 14, and my buddy, they had tripped like the weekend before, and they're like, dude, you got to try it. So I ended up taking like a hit and a half, and we were walking to go over to from my one house, my friend's house, over to another buddy's house to go pick up more.
To eat their face, probably.
No, but when we were walking, it was crazy rain, right? Rain was coming down.
Love it.
And
Right.
yeah, so and the streets are flooded where we're trying to cross, right? So me and my buddy Steve, the guy that passed away, but we're walking over to our buddy Ryan's house, and we stop and we stand there and we're waiting because we see like headlights in like coming like they're behind us going, but on the rainfall coming down. It was all lit up, We're standing there, we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. We're waiting for a car to go across the intersection so we can fucking go, and we're waiting. And I look at my buddy, I'm like, dude, is there a fucking car? Is that car gonna fucking go? And he's like, I've been waiting the whole fucking day. Like, we had like the same hallucination kind of like deal. Like, we're like, it was crazy, dude. It was one of the most insane fucking trips I ever had because, that was the first one's like, I don't know, for me, the first one was one of the most memorable because it was some of the most potent. But the thing was, I didn't feel like I was on a drug. I felt like I was being reintroduced to myself, or like something that I have already experienced before. Something of like my childhood. The familiarity in the hallucination and the the bending of the sound and the sight and how things
Stuff
like
that you dreamt of as a kid. and now it's
video,
coming back to you.
but just like the way things pulsated
in
and
hell,
moved
I
and the
get it.
fractals that would come up and the familiarity there. But I just remember we were doing
He says dismember a lot.
no this. No, but it's funny.
conspiracy.
What's funny is, have you ever done what's called the gateway to hell, where your buddy lays on his back?
No.
All right. I mean, he lays on his stomach, and you stand over him, and you hold your arms up, and you're kind of bent upwards, right? And you couldn't do it. You're back. You're like that. So you hold him there for a while, and then what you do is you count backwards. You start counting him. You start counting down, and then you start lowering the body. All right. So by the time the body gets, starts ascending down, it feels like it's flat. By the time it gets closer to flat, it feels like you're bending way down. By the time you lay down, it feels like you're just tumbling over. And the very first time I was tripping, before it kicked in, we had taken it, and we were all doing that shit. And everybody's counting when my buddy's doing it. And they're counting down. They're like, 8, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9. However they're fucking counting. Everything had that pulsating echo. And I thought they were fucking with me, and so I'm looking behind the chair, like shit. The room just starts, whoa, just fucking having this. I could hear fucking color, you know what I mean? It was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But then when I did it, did the thing, like I said, you just feel like you're tumbling over and over again when you do they call it the stairway to hell, because you feel like you just keep falling over.
I've heard other people talk about that, like rolling into a ball feeling, like without even doing that thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just tripping?
Yeah, like they have kind of a recurring
You can do it
experience.
sober.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can do it like, without anything. And
Wait a
it,
minute. Those people left. We can keep that door open.
yeah, if you want to, leave it open.
Cool. Yeah, let it air out a second.
Gilligan's like, I got the lung.
No, I don't know. I just want to see if this room clears out or if there's a ghost in here.
Yeah, no, there is a
That's
ghost.
how I always saw them. We grew up in a house with a ghost. His name was Frank, and you say, "Hey, Frank," and he would fucking fade back in. But it was just this foggy corner of the room, and you look over and you don't really see anything, and you look back and you see it in the corner of your eye again. You're like, "Hey, Frank," and
I call this one Frank, but I think his real name's Kevin.
we knew his name,
I can't remember.
Frank Wiederman.
Yeah, I get it wrong every time. Mikey's like, oh, dude, But,
Yeah, that was my ghost, was Frank. And then I moved into the basement. I remodeled it when I got out of the military. Frank was down there all the time. I used to feel weird masturbating.
oh, that would be, that's
The
one
fourth
of
or
the
fifth
things.
time a day, you feel like this guy's watching me, right?
I have a hard time ever since my grandma died. It bothers me now. Like,
Thought she might be watching.
she's floating right here.
I think the last thing anybody'd be interested in is scolding you for enjoying life. Like, there's probably a quicker way.
She'll probably just like criticize my stroke. So
Yeah.
tiny.
Ah,
I love you, Grams.
why no oil?
Love you. Well, dude, you know what's crazy? Speaking of this kind of paranormal kind of deal, was it was shortly after it was her funeral, and I wrote a couple jokes before she had passed away, but just because. But then I started telling them after she passed away, and one of the jokes was I just made a reference to her liking her BBC, and I'm not talking about the British Broadcasting, right? And I have it on video. I have it on video. And it was at Ralph's. Is at Ralph's thing at Silver Nugget, and he had left a beer on a fucking chair. And I'm telling you, dude, when I fucking dropped that on my grandma, that fucking beer, boom, falls over right like my grandma's like, oh fuck that, you know what I mean? Like she seriously, dude. When I showed it to all my family members, they all got fucking bugged out, dude. There's no vibration. There's no me stomping. There's no sound. There's no boom. There's no nothing. It's just me hitting that punchline and fucking the beer just falling off of the
Cool, 'cause
fucking
I
chair.
thought he was looking at me like a weirdo when I was telling my ghost story. Like, no, this didn't happen. You don't have a furry ghost in your corner.
No, dude, fuck that, dude. There's a ghost, dude. There's a ghost in here. Usually, it's gonna be tough to tell because they just opened the door. But usually, when he comes through, fucks with the lights. Like, had these been changing colors?
No.
All right. These haven't
Flashing right now.
these haven't changed colors, dude. Usually when he shows up, they start rotating fucking colors all on their own, and then like get my thing off of the remote. But they'll stay, and then it'll get cold in here. So it'll get cold as fuck in here, usually around your feet, and then these things will change colors. And I swear to God, dude, I ain't fucking touch a thing, dude. I've been here plenty of times where that's happened, where it gets fucking cold as fuck out of nowhere.
So I used to live in a haunted house. It was called the Foreman House because it was the house that the foreman of the mill across the street lived in with his family. It was like a perk for being the foreman. But I guess like back in the day, the guy like went nuts, burned down the mill, which the burned down remains of the mill are still there. Wow. And then he killed his family and he killed himself.
Whoa, that sucks.
Yeah, me and a bunch of other like actors and musicians lived in this house.
All over a shirt.
Yeah, right.
But it was his retirement pen. He didn't
right?
want he wanted the Rolex, not the. No.
Man, but if I got home, you know, probably like anywhere from like 9 to 12 people lived there. If I was the only person home, I'd leave.
Oh wow.
You know
why? Just because of that fact,
yeah,
or
no,
because
just,
of things?
just weird vibes, man. Like there was a room in the house I didn't like to go into.
Feel you.
Like a bathroom I like to go into even less. But then the house I moved into after that was like 110 years old. There was like a presence as well, but it was like
They
super positive.
Also just
yeah?
make noise, those houses.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out which one's the ghost fucking with things and which one's the pipes just clanking and floors
So
settling.
at that
Oh
house,
yeah, right, dude. I'm like, I
Doors
looked over at the
just
door. I was like,
close
ah,
after
dude.
dark. Like, the room's cool, the door closes. What?
at that house there had been a big party, and the kid who had thrown the party while his parents were out of town dove in the pool and broke his neck. So it was like there was like this party ghost. It would like egg us on to have a good time. It felt like
The party ghost,
yeah,
dude.
it was pretty cool actually.
He was
Whoa.
trying to warn you and you were too drunk.
Yeah.
I hear you, bro. Let's
He just-
fucking
he-
do a backflip.
He wants to get somebody to party till they die, dude. So he's got another party mate.
I never even thought about that, and now I'm freaked out about it.
You know what I mean? He's like, do it, do it. You're like, bro, we got the keg stand party ghost. You know? He's like fucking. Yeah, he's like.
You just stand up by yourself. You think your buddy's in there. He's holding you.
He's holding you up, dude, by your ankle. You're like, yeah. He's like, keg stand party ghost. Dude, that'd be rad, bro.
Yeah, I've heard that DMT, you get to talk to the Lord. I haven't tried that yet. but
DMT is awesome.
Somebody had a little pen like your weed pen there.
Oh yeah, you know, my buddy said he can get that, dude. And I really want to. Here's the only thing is, I definitely want to be around people that would like, that know how to deal and handle with this situation. Because, dude, to me, anything that I do where I'm vulnerable, where like I'm blacked out, I can't see, and you know what I mean. Like sleeping in front of people's tough for me, dude.
Yeah.
But when I decide to do, I'm out. You know what I mean. But I can stay awake for as long as I need possible. You know what I mean.
DMT is awesome.
Yeah, you've done it. I've never done it.
Take
I wanna
15
do it.
minutes, apparently. Go talk
Yeah,
to Jesus and go to work.
Well, the thing here's one of the
Lunchtime
things that I've been seeing lately and have been talking about lately. A lot of people, you know, it's not so much like they're saying so much as a hallucination as it is like your transport to like a certain place, because a lot of people have the same descriptions.
Yeah. There's
very
a
out
lot
of
of
body.
because you're supposed
Yeah.
to close your eyes. You know, you hit it and you close your eyes for the time it takes you to trip out or whatever your journey. And I saw a lot of colors and like silhouettes of like a figure. Kind of, I don't know if that was supposed to be my shaman or whatever, but just a lot of different colors. And then like I remember like having some feelings, you know. Sometimes like even if you're meditating or you do psychedelics, you'll get like super emotional, you know what I mean? And your like eyes will well up and stuff like that. So there was a little bit of that, and yeah.
Did
I recommend it.
Did you go to a point where, like, you know, people say they hear the divine voice or hear like the voice of the goddess? Like, there's always like a female tone or something like a.
I had enough nitrous oxide today.
But there's like a female tone or vibration that everybody seems.
I felt some vibrations, but there were also two guys in the house that weren't doing it who were having a conversation. So there was like that in the background.
Yeah.
So So yeah.
You don't know if that like kind of like a dream can shape your trip a little bit, or you know what I mean?
Well, I think it definitely can.
I've definitely seen
Absolutely.
people have like full on out of body experiences on DMT. Like just roll onto their back, go to a different place, apologize to somebody for something, and then come back. You know?
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Holy cow!
But then on the flip side, I've also seen like one of the smartest people I know apologize for 20 minutes because he thought he shit himself, and he hadn't. You know?
Dude, when you get tripping to a certain
Mental
point,
shit himself. That's hysterical.
well, when you
I'm
get
sorry.
to
I'm so sorry.
when you get to a certain point when you're tripping though, dude, it does feel like you shit yourself.
Yep.
You know, I was like,
That's
dude.
my least favorite thing about mushrooms.
Well, that and I hate looking
purging.
at my dick. It looks like a stack of dimes, dude.
If that.
I'm like, look at this fucking thing.
Helmet games.
I wouldn't know it just for the simple fact that
When I had
shaved.
that apartment, I used to trip on mushrooms all the time, and I would just whip open the shower curtain and piss straight in front of me. Like, I can't even aim this thing.
Dude, that was I have to admit that was some of the fun times when you had that little condo with the
recording
little
studio.
tripping the tripping parties because
Right?
dude, I had one of the best laughs. I had one of the best laughs with Gilligan. It was like me, you, and Salerno, right? I think it was just the three of
We
us.
ate a lot of mushrooms that summer.
Yeah, and Gilligan was wearing this weird shirt with like this V-neck kind of cut, but it was like this almost looked like a nurse's or like a
Scrubs.
yeah, like a scrub, like a mental patient. And he had his head, he like just started like cutting his hair like really close and he's just tripping. He's like he had like the bottom jaw just going like, and we're like, look at the fucking mental patient, dude. It looked like he escaped from the ward, dude. It was
Yeah, it was a great trip.
That's funny.
I fucking
But I was deep into it when they
cried.
pointed that out.
I
They're like, you know what you look like right now? No, I'm having a great fucking time. I was in the Ozark Mountains taking
You were just like-
rhubarbs or something. I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
Bro, he was
There.
like,
Picturing the greatest grilled cheese sandwich ever in my head. Like,
me and Salerno are pissing ourselves laughing. We're like, look at him. You're like, I just kept thinking of the Dave Attell joke. Quick, get to him before he gets to the dam. He's gonna poison the fucking water. Dude, seriously, those are good times.
yeah,
man.
a lot of mushrooms. That was my favorite thing for years. Mushroom. I tried every way to do it. I got to the point where I could only enjoy it in a tea.
Yeah, it's the only way that I can ingest mushrooms.
Least
too.
stomach upset, most scientific results. You're like, we're going to take this at 9.
Yeah,
we're
I've
gonna-
never done it in a tea. I've always just ate it.
You're going to start tripping 90 minutes after you take it. It's going to last 4 fucking hours. You're going to yawn a little, and then you can go home.
90 minutes. Usually tea takes fucking like nine minutes, dude.
Yeah.
Like fucking hits you fast as fuck.
It starts to.
Yeah, it goes through that, you get a good caffeine boost with it too.
Yeah, that's the one dude used to sit there and just sip tea the whole time.
Oh, I like making that concoction and then making a cocktail. Doing like a fruity drink cocktail with actually booze in it. That'll fucking
Sangria
kick it
sounds
off
like a
really
great
fast.
idea.
That'll kick it off really
We
nice.
should put acid in sangria and do that one day.
There you go.
Yeah, dude.
And these little San Pellegrinos.
Oh yeah. Did you get that here? Is that in the deal? Yeah, that's the little perks here. Whatever's there, it's kind of a roulette.
Help yourself roulette.
Yeah. Hey, as long as as long as Mikey and Boom are cool with it, but yeah, man. But I was gonna say we're 2 hours in. I don't know how you
Yeah.
guys are feeling. I mean,
I'm ready to go home and eat dinner.
Yeah, we should.
Man, yeah, I don't want to
Same.
break up the party, but
no,
Game
dude.
of Thrones.
Fucking yeah, we can fucking wrap this up,
go
dude.
play some
Great
Dungeons and
stuff.
Dragons.
Yeah, fucking.
Come check out the psychedelic show, May 11th.
May 11th, I'm on this psychedelic show. You
Gilly's
should
on it.
check out.
Trez is on it.
There's a whole.
They're gonna
slew.
post it on Facebook very soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll see the whole
Very
thing.
soon.
I saved it to my photo roll.
It's at the Heads Up in the Boulevard Mall. They got a back room there that is gonna be very awesome for a comedy show with
Speaking of
comedians
haunted
on.
places, we can run over to Champagne's after and look at their ghosts.
Oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So May 11th, be there.
Yeah, it's
$10.
511.
$10, 511.
511.
511. Is that the new call?
511.
Boom, boom.
I like it.
Gilly
So-
out.
All right, yeah. You guys don't want to leave any social media there. Let them know where you're at. Jesus, you're looking to boogie.
Tom Bomb on Facebook and Tom Bomb Comedy on Twitter.
John Gilligan on Facebook, at John Gilligan 2 on Twitter.
2.
Instagram.
Number
Yeah, the
2.
first one's a goddamn gangster. We talked about him 2 hours.
Yeah, you can follow me, Gus Langley, on Instagram, just at Gus Langley. Not the real Gus Langley. I don't know who the fuck that is.
See?
Are you like? Do you know? You don't know anything about him? You just know he's got that.
Your guess is as good as mine. They jack my pictures off my page and then get more likes than I do for them.
No way. Oh, dude, it's like that.
Yeah.
I thought there was like somebody
Damn,
really named Gus Langley.
I didn't know you
Nah.
you were that big that you had people.
I'm
like,
not. That's why it's so funny to me.
Dude, he's got that great chopper right there,
somebody's
dude.
got-
They're taking
make
that
a fake
mug.
Instagram page of you, dog. That's major. Like you've made it.
Yeah,
Boom.
congratulations.
What if that account got verified before yours?
Right.
Ain't that a bitch?
Oh yeah, someone was like, dude, that just sounds like a great name to fucking snatch right there.
Man, I do know people like
It is a good name.
people grab them up so that they can like try to sell them to people later on.
Oh, I bought some URLs. I'm waiting to see if anybody, wants to fucking buy it. I was just thinking up of something. I was like, I don't know why.
Fartinabag.com. You still got that one?
No, I bought up a few of them that would be like good conspiracy ones. So, we'll see. No one's emailing me for them yet, so I might just be wasting my $14 a year or whatever
You
for
never
it.
know.
But
And that's how they like it. You're a sucker in that machine. Just a sucker fish cleaning the screen of that business.
hell yeah,
$14, $14, $14.
fucking Placostomus. All right, guys.
They took my
Yeah,
steak
thanks for
away.
having me, man.
Yeah, thank you very much.
time,
guys.
I was glad we were able to rally up, and that's going to be the podcast. You know where to find us, guys. Like, share, subscribe, put it all out there. ThinkStopper.com. And we're going to have some pretty amazing guests lined up here coming. So stay tuned. You'll get the press. Peace.
Thank you.